Okay. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Let me get this shit going. I'm trying some new settings on Twitch today, hoping that it will reduce frame drops. For the most part, frame drops were okay yesterday, but I'm not used to dropping any. So, hoping that the changes I made are adequate enough to stop that from happening. Let me just open up the game here and we can get this shit on the road. Is there an update for the game or something? What the fuck? So, looking like we're gonna get somewhere in the realm of... Oh lord. 5-ish hours today. I can't put a hard limit on it. Maybe a little bit more. I have a raid to be at for WoW at 9:30 my time. Currently almost 3, so we'll have a little bit, around 6 hours, depends. But we're gonna get some progress done. I don't think we're gonna finish chapter 1, but we might make some meaningful progress. So we finished at the end of sub-chapter 3, or I guess chapter 3 of chapter 1. Not entirely sure how many sub-chapters there are, but I'm guessing that it's somewhere in the realm of 10. So we're probably not going to finish it today. But we will make some good progress. And hopefully we can finish this episode tomorrow. So last time that we stopped, we were getting some kind of odd vibes from Rena, maybe a little bit from Mion, not a ton, definitely Rena more so. And we learned about a lynch mob killing that happened at a dam construction site in this small town that for whatever reason both Rena and Mion seem to be... While Rena definitely feels like she's covering it, Mion's might have been out of I don't know, maybe I'm being too charitable. Regardless, neither of them gave a straight answer when the main character asked about what was going on. And to my understanding, with the murder, the victim was a foreman at the dam, and the perpetrators were like not henchmen, like workers that were under him. All 5, there were 6 participants apparently in the murder. 5 of them turned themselves in or were captured within 24 hours. But the ringleader of sorts has not been seen since, and there's a town rumor that he drowned in a nearby swamp. It's kind of where we're at right now. Otherwise, we've kind of just been introduced to the characters. Not a whole lot otherwise. So, we're going from there. Just make sure my stream's up on the side here so I can see if I got drop frames or anything. And I guess we'll get this show on the road. The function of this school as an educational facility is very questionable. Our PE class is exceptionally disorganized. The only things we do together are the warm-ups at the start. The teacher isn't even there after that. All we do is play together. Now helping it. Everybody's a different age or gender. The only rule was that we have to stay on school grounds while exercising. All the little kids were gallivanting about. Well, they certainly are being active. They might be getting plenty of exercise, but the Board of Education probably completely forgot about this school. Sorry to keep you waiting. We're all together now. What shall we do today for PE? Alright, we have all our members gathered now. Now then, class representative, what shall we do for PE today? What shall we do? God, I hate how she repeats herself. It creeps me out. Mion harumphed and crossed her arms haughtily, surveying the area. Explosive power and endurance. There are no friends in the world of sports. Everyone is a rival. The only thing you can trust in is your own body. What the heck do you mean by that? You really read too much manga. I quipped without missing a beat. And so, we'll be taking a lesson from history. The tried and true king of all outdoor melee events. Let's play tag. It was quite the adorable choice to make after playing it up so much. Also, tag is not necessarily a sport, but just what I was hoping for. That dunderhead Keiichi shall be the first one to be it. I won't be beaten. I'll try my best too. You can't beat me. Why are you guys all so into it? The third rule of our society. You must partake in the game, enjoying it without question. Then this counts as a club activity. Everyone smirked at each other. They all seemed pretty confident. I'm a man. Physically, I should be able to keep up with any girl my own age. Regardless, Mion and Satoko looked like they were aiming for victory, and Rina was looking at me as if pitying my disadvantage. Fine, tag. I'm in! My yell echoed across the school grounds. These were the rules. Anyone who was able to evade being tagged before the bell was a winner. We didn't switch who was it. The ones who were tagged by it also became it. Oh my god, what did we used to call this in school? Fuck, there was a special name for this. I want to say this was like Manhunt, but I forget. I don't know what we used to call it. So the number of people who were it could increase exponentially. The endgame would become a hellish siege. We call this version zombie tag, you see? I see, anyone infected by a zombie turns into a zombie. Why do you make it sound so scary, I wonder? Dude, did she like have head damage? Why does she keep repeating herself? I don't get it. As soon as I catch Rina, I'm gonna tear out her entrails while she's still alive. You get gross, Keiichi, that's gross. Dude, I wish I had like multiple people in here we could voice each of the characters. Rika placed her hand on Rina's head as she panicked. Don't worry, before Keiichi gobbles you down, I'll eat you up gently. That's sort of a odd. Rika, that isn't comforting at all. Both Mion and I nodded deeply. Do. 1 second. There we go. Okay. So the first it. How do you decide who's a zombie? With rock, paper, scissors? Well, it is class time after all. Let's decide by answering questions. I'll ask the questions, and the one who isn't able to answer is the zombie. I have no idea which grade level they're coming from. What does the Japanese word Roku mean? I don't know, I have a Roku TV, does that count? Huh? I was bewildered by the sudden question. Mion repeated it. So you need to answer. What's Roku in English? Oh god, I don't know. It's 6. How about Kutsushita? Socks. What's the third last letter in the alphabet? It's X. What does Saibetsu mean? Of course I know what that is. It's... Clearly you don't, you're drawing a blank. Satoko cut herself off before finishing the answer. I see. It's quite a lewd question. You're an adult, aren't you? Of course you know what that is, right? I certainly do. Of course I know. Go ahead and say it. Don't say it, please, I'll get banned. That, you know. That? What does that mean exactly? I'm not making that noise. Satoko looks like she's in trouble. How cute. Don't take her home, it's a crime. If I didn't nip it in the bud, she really might have tried to take her home. Mion's pursuit was relentless, making Satoko stammer. Now then, go ahead and say it, nice and loudly. What does that mean? I do know. It's... That means a previously indicated person, thing, or event. Huh? All of us were a bit surprised by Rika's unexpected answer. I see. Well, it certainly is what that means. That could have been awkward. I wonder what I would have done in Satoko's position. I'd probably get ticked off and just blurt out, you know what, at the top of my lungs. See, the problem is I don't know. You know what? I don't speak Japanese. I wouldn't want you as an enemy, Mion. I'm not reading her last name. Thank goodness you were born a girl. If you were a boy, you'd probably be a perverted asshole. True, actually. It appears I have no choice. Unfortunately, I, Satoko Hojo, shall assume the role of the zombie. What a fucking name. I shall eat everyone. Seems like she's raring to go. All I must do is count to 100 correct. She talks in a very odd way. She talks in like a very formal... Maybe it's not formal. I'm not sure how to put it. She doesn't... I guess it is formal. She doesn't talk very casually. Some jerks skip numbers while counting to 100, so you can start chasing after you solve this problem. What's the derivative of x squared? Run! Well, Keiichi, give her a simple one, okay? 1/5 of a cake, 1/6 of a cake, and 1/7 of a cake are all on a plate. It's gonna ask her how much is together. It's fractions. Oh no, there are no common denominators. Well, that's the problem, lady. You gotta figure it out. Satoko grabbed a stick in a panic and began drawing a cake in fractions on the ground. It's Satoko, who can eat one cake in 60 seconds, eats all of them. How many cakes are left on the plate? Just as I finished giving the word problem, Mion shouted. Ready, go! Everyone ran. On Mion's signal, everyone but Satoko scattered. Haha, Keiichi, that wasn't a problem at all, was it? Satoko had already lost the moment she started working it out. She's eating it all, so of course there's nothing left on the plate. That actually is a pretty good meme. Everyone dashed off in a direction they thought was best. Knowing the lay of the land, they probably headed right to the best spots. It was obvious I was at a disadvantage. At a time like this, it would have been more effective to go along with those trained in survival skills, like Mion, for example. The fact that I didn't realize it at the start of the game probably hurt my chances. Glancing back over the school grounds, I saw Satoko just rising up to start. She was really, really mad. Mwahaha. She got tripped up on such a dumb question. I stood at one of the corners of the school. I had clear sightlines in two directions and would probably have a good response time if any zombies started closing in. I feel like if you jumped in right now, you'd be like, what the fuck is this game about? This guy's running from fucking zombies. For the time being, I caught my breath and focused on what I was trained to think during club activities yesterday. Now think calmly, Keiichi Maebara. If I was it, what would I do? Increasing my numbers would be a shortcut to victory. Then going after the weakest player first is the obvious plan of attack, meaning me. Now then, where could Keiichi possibly be? I shan't let you escape. Dude, this girl really is talking odd. But of course, what would be the best method to track me down? Footprints or smell? Or maybe some type of trail? I mean, it'd probably be footprints, right? You probably wear bigger shoes than them, right? But if I could craftily hide my tracks, then there would be no trail for Satoko to follow. But I was no detective. Would I even be able to do that kind of thing in an amateur game like this? Tomita Okamura. Have you seen Keiichi recently? What the heck? Do zombies hunt their prey by asking nicely where they went? Tomita and Okamura pointed to the location where I was hiding. After confirming she was headed in this direction, I abandoned my position. Hey man. All's fair in love and war. And I guess zombie tag as well. It wasn't easy to hide myself with all those little kids running around as they pleased. It was becoming even more obvious that I was at a disadvantage from not being familiar with these surroundings. If that's how it was going to be, then to confront this intelligence-gathering zombie, I'd just counter it in a similar vein. I approached some girls playing with a ball. I'm sorry, I'm stealing your ball. But can you relay this message? Tell Satoko Hojo that her parents are at the gate, please. Message, ahaha. Okay. I stopped the girls as they turned to run off. Wait, don't go yet. Also, take this one to Mion Sonozaki. Tell her the teacher is calling her to the gate. I am quite the schemer if I do say so myself. If things went well, then Satoko and Mion would run into each other at the gate. It would put me at a disadvantage if more people were it, but this was Mion we were talking about. She'd figure out a way to escape, but that was just fine, as long as it bought me more time. Dance for me, Mion, and Satoko. In the palm of my hand. Having my fill of playing the con man, I looked for a place to hide. If you think about it logically, I'd only bought myself a scant amount of time. I didn't mean to right click, and it might even come back to bite me. Once it became apparent, I'd start spreading false information through messengers. I could end up being the recipient of one of those messages. Satoko, imagine, dude. It's like, Keiichi, there, we have a serious phone call. Your mother and your father have died in a car accident. You need to go talk to the police officer at the gate. And he's like, fuck you, it's a fake message. It's like, no, dude, like it's not. Like you actually have to go talk to them. Satoko would probably ask the messengers to help her look for me. That would mean there would be more zombies than participants in the game. The virus that was brought about by my mischief could cause an epidemic. All my classmates would transform into zombies and would only be searching for me. This tactic might backfire horribly. While trembling at the thought of the impending dawn of the dead, I began searching for a safe house. I found a shed by the incinerator behind the school. After climbing up to the roof, I held my breath. It wasn't a bad place to hold out. Not only did I have good line of sight if necessary, I could jump off in 3 different directions to escape. It was getting rowdy down there. The lower grades were running around below the shed. Maebara isn't around. Is he over there? No. Where's Keiichi, I wonder? His dad is at the front gate. Yeah, that was definitely a lie. The word gate, the same one I'd used, gave a hint of revenge. So Mion was behind this. I was still keeping one step ahead of the game. I felt bad for my underclassmen, but they'd have to search until the school bell. Hey, do you know where Keiichi is at? His mom suddenly got really sick, yeah. A message for Maebara. They said his house caught fire. Yeah, exactly, dude, that's what I was saying. They would talk about, like, his fucking family's dying. It's like, bro, this is serious. A jumbo jet fell on top of the Maebara residence. The police have come to question him. Anything goes now. They say he enjoys peeping into bathrooms. Is it true that he's going around every night stealing panties? Dude, this is the SpongeBob Panty Thief episode. Who are they talking about? I heard he wears panties on his head and smells them and stuff. No way would I do that. I heard the class representative Mion was a victim too. What? This was your doing, Mion. Calm down, Keiichi. This is Mion's battle tactic to flush me out. Just hold on. If my underclassmen thought about it logically, they would know it's all nonsense. But small kids don't think about things logically. To them, all of those things were true, so they all chuckled together while looking for me. I win, Mion. It's my victory. Wiping unrelenting tears away, I felt intoxicated by my own victory. Did you hear? I heard that the new transfer student Maebara is a really perverted person. The cost of beating Mion had too high a price. Oh, someone passed below. That's Rina and Rika. And this is where they're like, man, I really hope he comes out. His whole family is fucking dead. he's just fucking around doing nothing. Rika, you're still okay? I'm getting by somehow. Huh. Seems me is it as well. Mion? It couldn't be. She'd become it because of my little strategy? This confirmed that Mion was behind this relentless message war. Then, this wasn't good. We finally got away from me, but Satoko, she's... Dude, I think this is gonna be this is a double bait again. They're gonna bait him here, pretending that they're not it, but they are. And then he's gonna come down and be like, guys, you're not it either. And then he's gonna get caught. Satoko is searching around the pipe, so we should be safe here for a while. Upon hearing that, I breathed a sigh of relief. While Rina was slumped on the ground breathing heavily, Rika had started creeping up to her. Rika doesn't normally make noise when she walks, but it's strange. It couldn't be. Whoa! Rika! What is it? What is it? Huh? Don't worry. I had never seen Rika smile so creepily before. Why are you coming closer? Why? Rika isn't a zombie, is she? Don't be scared. I'll be sure to eat you gently. No way! Rika, no! Rina was pressed against the wall, and Rika lurched forward with both arms out, just like a zombie. Rina quaked with her back pushed up against the wall. It was quite a surreal scene of horror, like one of those zombie breakout videos you'd see. At that moment, Rina's eyes met mine. Keiichi, save me! Zombie Rika turned 180 degrees, exorcist style, and glared at me. Found him, ICK. Mion popped out from behind the cinder block wall around the garbage dump, also seeing where I was. My position was only advantageous when there was one zombie. Being surrounded was not as good. Dude, this is where you gotta start doing Assassin's Creed. Start jumping off the buildings. You said you located Keiichi? I could tell that Satoko was rushing my way. It seemed that Rika had let Rina escape, and now she was baring her fangs in my direction. Making zombie noises. Come on down, Kay. The 3 zombies circled the shed, moaning curses. You guys are scary, too scary. I wonder how Keiichi's guts taste. Keiichi? Keiichi, I want you to become one of us. Someone please save me. I saw Rina apologizing to me from across the schoolyard. An apology. Sorry. Leaving me for dead. Rina! I leapt off the roof out of fear, slipping as I landed. Satoko and Rika jumped on top of me. After straddling me, they tickled me all over. Dude, FBI, open up. Haha, stop. So this means Rina's still left. There isn't much time until the bell. Damn you, Rina. Fuck, I keep right-clicking. How dare you leave me for dead? The feelings of a zombie. I understood how vengeful a ghost with lingering regrets felt. It's sad. So sad. But Keiichi is one of us now. It felt like I'd been bitten by a vampire and was now one of their thralls. It was a strange feeling, being welcomed over to the side that had pursued me. Zombie tag is quite profound. This is no time to postulate. We must capture Rina. The principal is walking down the hall. The bell will ring soon. To devour Rina, I, who had been turned into a demon of vengeance, needed to use any means necessary. Except I wasn't just a zombie. I was a master of the night, a vampire. Dude, this guy is cringing. He's literally role-playing. Using the same trick that had tightened the noose around my own neck, I used my classmates to further my evil designs. I gathered up the lower grades from around the school grounds. Everyone, listen! Rina's in big trouble. All of you, please look for Rina. It's a bigger problem than a jumbo jet crashing into your family's house? Oh yeah, it had turned into that, hadn't it? Mion whistled nonchalantly, trying to avoid the blame. Yeah, it's not even in the same league as jumbo jets. What fell on Rina's house was a space colony. A space colony? Yeah, it's a really big disaster. Everything in a 100-kilometer radius was obliterated. I'm assuming that would mean this whole village, but that's only the prelude to this tragic tale. This is the beginning, the start of a war for independence by the I'm having a stroke. Propagandapality of Xeon. The lower grades were dumbfounded, their eyes like saucers at the grand turn of events. What will happen? Well, the Terran... Okay, we got some StarCraft memes, good memes. If things go on like this, they will. Only one person can defeat the Red Comet. That person is Rina Ryugu. Lower grade students all gulped. It'd seem I'd made them fully understand that the fight for Earth was lost without Rina. Now scatter, comrades, we must find Rina. My comrades in the lower grades allowed an enthusiastic cheer and dashed off in various directions around the school grounds. There was still one person who hadn't gone. But I thought even the Terran Federation's impulse wave diffusal cannon didn't work on the Comet Empire. You're close. That's the white variety of those comets. The reason it didn't work was because they didn't know the weak point. Of course, Rina knows their weak point all too well. Ryugu is amazing. Satisfied with that, she also rushed off. I thought this was a StarCraft meme with the Terran Federation, but I don't think it is. I think I've got double switched. It does seem like there are some promising up-and-comers amongst the youngsters. Little K's abilities, this old man knows them better now. It didn't really feel like she was complimenting me, but whatever. Really though, how exceptional, Keiichi. This looks quite promising. We have this many, we can win. With this many, we will win. I was thinking that Keiichi would have been a better nominee for the initial zombie. Rika's words stung a bit, but I'd let it slide for now. Most fucking intense game of tag ever made, holy shit. Not even Rina would be able to escape the entire class. As a result of everyone's thorough search, Rina was finally cornered in the back of the sports equipment shed. You're all scary. Keiichi too. So scary. It probably was scary being chased around by the entire student body. All the lower grades closed in on Rina, saying she was the only one who could save the world. What are you all saying? I can't control a mech. Rina, how could you leave me for dead? Are you ready to pay for it? I'm sorry about that, Keiichi, but I didn't have a choice. Do not resist. Let yourself be devoured. Let's all be together. Sort of odd. Now, Rina, say your prayers. Wahaha. Rina had stumbled onto a mat, trembling with tears in her eyes. I closed in. Associating this situation with a similar, particularly immoral one made my pulse quicken just a little bit. Oh, yikes. Satoko and Rika were both wiggling their fingers. They probably wanted to tickle Rina. Rina, wanting no part of what she knew was about to happen, went stiff with fear. Keiichi, you wouldn't do mean things like everyone else, would you? Would you? I wonder. Now then, are you ready? Okay, so long as it's Keiichi. The face she made as she resigned herself to her fate made my heart skip a beat. I believe that Keiichi won't do horrible things to me. Body won't move. That had to be some sort of anti-zombie mantra. The second my sense of reason chimed in, the beast inside me died instantly. Yeah, and you guys omega lulled. You stalled. You were stalling Andy, and you lost. Yay! I did it. I survived. Rina pranced around merrily as if a curse had been broken. Huh, so daylight broke in the nick of time and the evil zombie army disintegrated to dust. Don't think that's what happens with zombies. And so the heroine survived. Well, that's how it goes in the movies anyways. What are you postulating about? This is all because Keiichi was dawdling about. I mean, any one of you realistically could have just done something. You were all just being stalling Andys, trying to be funny or something. Punishment is required. I was subdued by Satoko and Rika, and once again sentenced to death by 100 tickles. Eek, forgive me. And the award for surviving goes to Rina Ryugu and Mion Sonozaki. Yay! No way, did she bait this whole time? Huh? Me wasn't a zombie? Only pretended to be one. They say you need to deceive your allies before you can deceive the enemy, you know? Oh, Mion, you little... Yeah. Hurry up and change, alright? Don't be late for next class. Let go of me, Satoko. Rika. Having had my fill of being terrified to my very core by club activities, I solemnly swore I would have Mion crying for mercy next time. Fucking most intense game of tag I've ever seen. Hey game, we gonna keep black screening me or? Okay, I guess we're just skipping. Johnny skipping. After arriving home, I quickly made preparations to head out once again. I had agreed to meet with Rina to dig Colonel Randy out of the mountain of treasure from before. Dude, I don't like that. I don't like that trash heap, man. I don't want to go back there. Mom, do we have work gloves? I need towels, too. Towels, you say? Aren't they in the shed out back? The towels are by the sink. Alright, now I was all ready. Looking at me, my mom stared quizzically. What's going on, Keiichi? Where are you headed to in that getup? If they come to dump again illegally, he'll be buried completely and it'll be impossible to dig him out. And if that happens, Rina will undoubtedly go after the Colonel Randy in front of the fried chicken place in town. A bit of excavating, so my classmate doesn't become a criminal. Well, don't be out too late. Mom returned to the kitchen with a puzzled expression still on her face. Cutting through the woods, as a shortcut to the dam site, I ran into someone. Oh, the photographer, our boy. Tomitake. Probably taking pictures of wild birds again with that precious camera of his. It couldn't be that all he took pictures of was handsome young men in the twilight. I mean, hey, dude. Might be a business model for that, you never know. Hey, long time no see. Keiichi, right? My due regards. I expelled the rude imagery from my head and greeted him without inciting anything. By the way, was that girl an acquaintance of yours? Probably talking about Rina. Guessing, by the way, Tomitake was shaken up. Well, what was that all about? She was walking around with a bared hatchet. And she was laughing with a huge smile across her face. That was Rina, without a doubt. I expected she was grinning in anticipation of taking Colonel Randy home. I hid myself because I thought it might be dangerous. Should I call the cops to be safe? Well, it certainly would be quite the spectacle for a girl of her age to be roaming around with a hatchet. Tomitake's reaction was the epitome of logical. It's fine. Just leave her be. She's just wandering around looking for more victims. Tomitake was alarmed by my crass response. Well, it's probably hard for normal people to understand Rina. I'll just toss out a bunch of baloney. If you were to be killed out here, she'd probably be the one to do it. Try not to snoop too much around here. With a condescending smirk, I started off in the direction of the dam site where Rina was waiting. Before I got too far, Tomitake abruptly called out to me. Keiichi, is that meant to be a warning for an outsider like me? I didn't mean that seriously. I did try to make it obvious, but I'll try my best to be careful. Leaving only those words behind, Tomitake turned around and laughed. I didn't really mean to call him an outsider. It wasn't really implying anything when I said that, or I wasn't really. It was only meant to be a joke, but it felt like I'd said something bad. Okay. Going over the fake Golden Gate Bridge here. Looking at a stream. Bro, I don't know what Colonel Randy looks like. Keiichi, I was waiting for you. Let's try our best today. I understood what Tomitake was trying to say. Somebody gallivanting about while waving a hatchet around certainly would seem dangerous. You should put a cover on that hatchet when you have it in public. It's not good to carry it around in the open like that. Seems that I lost it, so there isn't one. Thinking about it, there really was no need to try to keep up appearances. Everyone in Hinamizawa probably already knew about Rina's eccentricities. She's probably the only person who could carry a hatchet around in Hinamizawa and not be considered suspicious. Let's finish this today. If we bust through the last beam, we should be able to pull him out. I've got everything I need. Leave it to me. Okay. I took the hatchet from Rina and made my way up the unstable slope. Just wait, Colonel Randy. Keiichi will save you. Alright, get back. I'll finish this in one go. A solid thwack rang throughout Hinamizawa, as if the job was being done by a lumberjack. In this case, the lumberjack is a 14-year-old boy, but how is it? Think you can do it? If it looks too hard, you don't have to strain yourself. If I can break through this, then we'll be good. I have plenty of power today. I can do it. But this adversary was more formidable than I expected. First of all, I'd never used a hatchet before. During a school camping trip, I wanted to split the wood, but I lost at rock, paper, scissors and wasn't able to do it. Because the spot where I was standing was so unstable, I soon became tired and decided to take a break. What a goober. Rina had already spread out a tarp and laid down some tea and sweets. I'm fine, I'm almost there. I'll make sure Rina can give Colonel Randy a goodnight kiss tonight. Yeah, thanks. Giving Colonel Randy a goodnight kiss. Oh, come to think of it, Rina, you're a transfer student too, right? Where did you live before? I asked her nonchalantly while drinking tea. I thought she'd lived here all her life. In Kanto. It wasn't as rural as it is out here, but it was still out in the countryside. Why did you move here? To Hinamizawa, I mean. You know, this is pretty far out in the boonies. Why did you move here? Does it have to do with your dad's work? Dad said he wanted to relocate his studio. He'd been saying for a while that somewhere deep in the mountains like this would be perfect. Studio? Is your father an artist or something? He paints scenery. Seems that twice a year he opens a gallery for the stuff he does. When he started, his works were displayed in an industry plaza in Tokyo, but now they're exhibited in the Makuhari Messe. He's determined to have them displayed in the Waterfront International Exhibition Hall. That's amazing. Let me see them next time. I was too embarrassed to tell her. I didn't really know what kind of pictures my father painted. Well, eventually I would. I picked myself up while giving some vague answers. But you transferred in the middle of the semester, didn't you? Wasn't that a hassle? Not really. I was getting bored of the city anyways. I was trying to get answers from Rina, but I ended up being the one giving out all the answers. Yeah, she's very defensive. She kind of, she seems to deflect, literally everything. He asked her, why she moved here, and she just deflected by asking him back. So, with a bit of a wry smile on my face, I grabbed the handle of the hatchet and headed back to the work site. That didn't really... It's fine. Guess who's singing again? It's the cicadas. The air grew colder as the sun slowly set. The Higurashi began their song, as if to tell me to stop and head home for the day. Just a bit more. Today I would end it. When I first started, I chatted with Rina as I worked, but now I didn't have that luxury. Ouya, you little! Damn it! I'd swung the hatchet countless times today, just like this. Contact. Shards of wood splintered. The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes. Oh great, that's what you're thinking of now? I recalled that passage from the tabloid. One hit with something like this would smash someone's head in. Axes and pickaxes are not meant to be swung at people, ever. With one last swing, the beam cracked apart. The weight I put behind the hatchet not only split through the beam, but smashed the statue's shoulder as well. The arm came off with a sickening sound. Yikes, dude. It clattered down noisily, stomping at my feet. What's the matter? Are you hurt? Sorry, the figure's arm, I broke it off. Oh, that's all? I thought Keiichi hurt himself. Dude, she talks in third person too. Dude, I don't like this girl. Something is odd about her. I don't like it. Something is off. She's got problems. I guess. I don't know how else to put it. I'm a little A little question mark on this one. I probably had a really guilty look on my face. Rena said that without a hint of dismay as she smiled. We just need to tape it back on and put a coat over him. Nobody will even notice. I see. Let's pull him out then. Can you get that side? Okay. We pulled it out and there was a fucking dead body in there. They still haven't found one of the arms. I laughed dryly at how pathetic I was for considering the arm flopping down and rolling to my feet to be such a bad omen. Both Rena and Mion knew how sickening that incident was, so they pretended they didn't know. I had looked it up all by myself, and shamefully enough, I was scared. You're pathetic, Keiichi Maebara. Alright, Rena, let's do this in one go. Ready, and... Whoa! We did it, Keiichi! Yay! You don't really look too happy. The right time to give 3 cheers, that moment of 2 days of work bearing fruit. He who was brought to Hinamizawa covered in filth to meet his end. Instead, we were able to welcome him back. You're pretty lucky, Colonel Randy. Your new master is a pretty decent person. Waha, Colonel Randy, he really is cute. It didn't matter that he was dirty. Rena nuzzled him cheerfully with her cheek. I was dead tired, but seeing Rena's happy face made it all worth it. I'll help you carry it back. It'd be bad if it gets dark. Yeah, right. I really want to thank you, Keiichi. I won't forget this. I'll think real hard about how you can repay me. Whoa. I wonder what kind of repayment, I wonder. For now, I just hold back my evil cackle. We were ready to take it to her house, but we couldn't go like this. We rolled the statue up in the tarp and lifted him. And so Jack and Jill went down the hill, carrying a human-sized bag and an unsheathed hatchet. Yeah, you know what? This is actually not a good look. I prayed that we wouldn't run into Tomitake. If he saw us here and took a picture, we'll need to get rid of him. Lol. What the fuck? Is that meant to be a warning for an outsider like me? Something struck me as odd about the words Tomitake. Unable to grasp my sense of humor, had left behind. Okay. What kind of name is Rena? Wait, is that the end of this chapter? That was short as fuck. Rena's not here. Do you know where she is, Keiichi? She was just there, actually. Hey, Mion, where did Rena go? Rena? Didn't she go to the washroom? She did say that she's been having bowel troubles lately. I hadn't heard anything about that. Satoko, do you know where Rena went? Dude, I do not like Satoko at all. Rena, you say? I just passed her in the hallway. Rena has class duties today, so she's off to water the flower bed. Nice, 2 different reasons. Ah, it was Rena's turn for class duty. Sounds like a drag. Rena. Upon hearing it repeated, a thought came into my mind. It's rude to say this about someone's name, but it was a weird name. Yeah, but Keiichi with 2 fucking eyes in the middle wasn't? It was like some foreigner's name. I was about to say, I don't think Rena's that odd of a name. What kind of name is Rena, I wonder? What kind of kanji does her name use? Rena is her nickname. She has a proper name as well. What, really? I was sure that Rena Ryuga was her actual name. Well, I can understand you making that mistake since we only call her Rena. She even signs her name as Rena. It's like her real name in school. I wonder what her real name is. Let's ask her when she comes back. Satoko and Rika looked at each other. You don't need to ask her. We'll just tell you, I think that's what it said. Yeah, we'll tell you what it is. It's the Rei from Ore and the Na from Nara. Her real name is Reina. It's like we're splitting hairs here, man. Reina, is it? It was read out as Rena instead of Reina. That's a pretty interesting reading. No, that's not it. Reina is the correct way. Wait, is that here's a... Dude, have I been calling her the wrong thing this whole time? Rena had told us that she wants us to call her Rena, so we call her Rena. Okay, Rena is Rena, you know? Only strangers call her Reina. You get where this is going? I understood what Mion was saying. It didn't matter what her real name was, only what names we used between us. I don't know if it's supposed to be Reina or not. I'm assuming it's Rena still. Rena Ryugu is Rena. She's nobody other than that. So I was thinking, if I had a nickname, would you call me by that? If it's good. So what do you want to be called? Con man. Cringe man, more like. Holy fuck. Rena then came back into the classroom. One of the juniors near the door told Rena people were looking for her. What's this now? Who's looking for me, I wonder? Dude, she ends stuff in like, I wonder all the time too. I don't know, man. Like, I'm probably reading too deep into this, but I wonder? Seeing that, both Mion and I sneered. Bailiff Ryugu doth show herself. Con man, you're quite sinister. Ha ha ha. What is this? What is this? Keiichi and me are an evil bailiff and a con man? Damn you, Rina Nosuke Ryugu. Today doth be when thou meetest thy maker. Have at thee. Okay, Shakespeare, calm down. Wawa. Suge Kaku. Show them what for. Aye aye, sir. I expect my fee to be paid to my Swiss bank account. My offshore account. Since it's come to this, we have no choice. We'll just have a grand battle with 5 people. Rena's fierce punches exploded just as soon as she had shown her seal. The evil that was Mion and myself was vanquished in the end. I do hope that Rena does go on a journey to make the world a better place. How about heading to Parliament first? Spare me. I'll get cute stuff for you on my travels. The toll of the bell signaled that break time was over. Come on, Keiichi, me, the teacher's coming. I took Rena's hand and stood up. It was just as the teacher had entered the classroom. Just one more hour. Man, oh man. Gotta buckle down for one fucking more. I agree with you. Okay. So we gotta think about... I've been trying to think about what the, how do I put this? What the actual meaning that you're supposed to take from all of these is, right? Because these seem to be very innocuous when you look at them in isolation. But clearly they have to be a deeper thing here. So the big thing here, my thinking is, that we know that Rena is not actually her real name. Her real name is Reina. Only her friends call her Rena. And then when we were looking at like the special... Like these two are kind of straightforward. They weren't really... The Meibara Manor, this one was talking, I think, about the layout of the house. This one was talking about the dam project. This one was talking about how Mion's family has a like store that sells used school clothing goods from all over Japan. And then this one was talking about how the building is owned by the forestry thing in the prefecture, and that there's only one class of a bunch of like kids. Because obviously there's more to this than just like, oh, haha, cute little, like, this is her name. There's definitely more to this. So, I should have saved there. Let me save real quick. Oops. How was it, Kay? So you went to Rena's house. Wasn't it amazing? It's nothing like that, right? Right? Unlike my house, the Ryugu residence wasn't newly constructed. It had been renovated from a pre-existing building. Well, the house itself was fine. The problem was the yard. There, it was crammed with rows upon rows of oddities. They were all the same as Colonel Randy, stuff you'd see while walking around in town. The cake shop's mascot, Lil Licky. The Totemon in front of the pharmacy. She even had the amazing flying elephant from the top of the department store. So she's a thief. I'll agree with you that those are cute, but why the mailbox? Won't you get in trouble for that one? But how... so cute. She must have just thought about it because her face filled with delight. So it's the bigger the better, just as long as it's big. Oops. And her room displays the smaller ones. I had a chance to see them before. And cute kids like Rika are locked away in the basement. Oh, yikes. Yep, I'll keep anything. How cute. So she takes anything she likes back to her nest. No ill will intended. Hey, Rena. You know about the Statue of Liberty in New York, right? Is that cute? Yeah, cute. How I want it. The US should probably come up with some countermeasures ASAP. If not, the Statue of Liberty really will take a trip to Hinamizawa in the not-so-distant future. Dude, I'm just waiting for something to go wrong, okay? I feel very odd just, like, with the little cutesy, like, oh, woohoo, like, everyday life, omega lol, slice of life. I'm just waiting for someone's fucking head to get cut off, okay? My apologies for keeping you waiting. Rika had returned. No fun being called to the staff room. Did you do something? How rude. Rika isn't a hoodlum like Keiichi. Nothing like that, Keiichi. Rika is a member of the festival committee. Festival? The school cultural festival or something? Kei, I already told you. It's the village festival. The Watanagashi. Oh, come to think of it, she did say there'd be a festival at the shrine during the next break. So what's this Watanagashi thing about? Is it like a floating lantern festival? I guess the last part where you set things adrift in a river is similar. Or the last part where you set things adrift in a river is similar. Except we use cotton things, like old worn out futons and padded cloaks. It's a festival expressing thanks for their years of service. Okay, dude. Whatever. Yeah, this is my take here, too. What the fuck? Sounds like it'd be a lot of trouble if it backed up the current. Maybe they should just drop some fish in and have a fish wrangling competition. Skewer them and sprinkle a little salt. Oh man, I can smell it already. That's just summer camp. I never anticipated how destitute Keiichi's imaginative capabilities would actually be. What, how could you tell I was thinking something silly? It was written all over your face. I wonder, how fast is Otto? What sort of... Okay, well... Rina demonstrated for me. I see, no argument here. Oh, awesome, I don't even have to click anymore. It's nothing fun like that, you see. But you should still look forward to it. Okay, so first things first, it's actually an okay speed, but I want the auto speed to be as fast as possible. Oh, wait. Do this. Let's all go together. I'll come get you that day. Oh my, no, stop. Stop, that's too fast. It's too fast. You won't get bored. Let me read this. I see, no argument here. Haha, it's nothing fun like that, you see, but you should still look forward to it. Let's all go together. I'll come get you that day. I don't really feel like going to festivals unless someone asked me to, but I wouldn't get bored if these guys were going. You won't get bored. Mion... Okay, dude, this is so fucking... How did it go from being like... From the way Mion looked, it was probably our club's summer tradition. The Watanagashi 4-demon firefight. That sounds awful. What kind of name is that? I think it's a cute name, though. I tried to object sharply, but since Rina looked happy about it... Okay, dude, I'm actually getting fucking tilted now. Why is this so dumb? Okay, look, we'll just do this. Since Keiichi is here this year, it becomes 5 demons. Rika made a small correction in light of my presence. So how does this funky-sounding club activity tie into the festival? Oh my god, I realize how this works now. You do this, but you do this. Oh, this is where you exhibit the skills you've nurtured through your daily club activities. Exactly. We show the full extent of the abilities that the best of the best have obtained through our daily trials and tribulations. But last year, the mayor got angry. So we need to make sure not to cause any problems this time. You know, I think the real meme here is just, we're not going to do auto, okay? It's not worth. I'll just click. So basically, we're doing club activities while checking out the stalls. Rika really is the only one who explains things, so they make sense. I see. So we'll be exhibiting one of those busy festival grounds. Rina was right. Of course that would be a reason for the mayor to get angry. But it's lots of fun. That was the only point I did not doubt. It would be without question fun. The day of the festival was drawing near. Well, putting that aside for now, let's start our club activities today. Any objections? Nay. Our voices rang out in unison. When there's lots of people, card games really are the easiest to play. This really is the most basic of table games. Playing with the marked deck again? We'll use a new one today. There are no marks on the cards, so we're on equal footing. I wonder if that really is the case. I'll have to inspect them. That was fair. Just to be safe, everyone check the cards. Yep, these seem to be fine. Are you all satisfied? And today, I guess we'll play President. Okay, dude, I know President, but I know of hearing people say, yo, let's play President, but I don't think I've ever actually played President, so... I didn't know the first game they played either. Another standard card game. First one to get rid of all their cards wins. The basic rules: play a better card than the one before. You can play straights and pairs. There are various techniques that improve the game, like reversals. But because it's such a well-known game, there are a lot of house rules for it as well. The name, for example. In my hometown, we called it Millionaire. I'd like to go over some details. Are the Jokers wild? Dude, is this like the Persona Revolution card game? It kind of sounds like that. Are the Jokers wild? Can you make a reversal with 3 threes? No Jokers. 2 is the highest. You can reverse reversal. You can only make a reversal with 4 of a kind, not 3. Also, you know how the peasant sends a good card to the president? Yes, this is like Revolution that they played in Persona. Okay. So I know I do know how this works, kind of. I guess the rules are different. None of that. While I was confirming the familiar rules, Satoko looked over at me cautiously. I probably should have tried to look more like an amateur. I was pretty used to this game. It's President, and it's with a new deck. Today I might actually be able to win. I had the gist of the rules now, but that wasn't everything, was it? So what shall today's penalty be? About that, why don't we all write down something? I just had a stroke. Why don't we all write something down on slips of paper and have the loser draw one? Oh, that seemed like it could be interesting. Oh, I'll write a nasty one and have Keiichi draw it. It would be awful if you wrote a bad one and drew it yourself. Just don't lose. Don't you know best? Mion handed out several slips of paper to everybody. Then write down whatever and put it in this bag. When you lose, stick your hand inside and pick one out. Now then, what would be a good penalty? Worst case scenario, you draw what you write. Something too intense would be like digging your own grave. No penalty. Let's forbid that kind of idea from being written down. Rika's casual suggestion caused Mion's hand to lurch to a sudden halt. Ah, that's so sneaky, Mion. She wrote no penalty, and the corner of the slip is folded. I see. Just in case you lost, just grab the note with the folded corner and you'll be safe. That was a good idea. Diabolical as ever, Mion. Rika is quite formidable too, being able to see through that. Yeah, you see, that plan doesn't really work though the second that somebody else folds the corner of their card too. I couldn't underestimate her, even though she doesn't stand out. Everyone, don't write penalties that are too mean, okay? Nobody agreed to Rina's proposal. Everyone was ruthless. It's fine, Rina. Just don't lose. Just don't lose, Forehead. Then you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll try hard so everyone has to pick the penalty I write. Rina was quite brutal, even though she usually appeared meek. Better not underestimate her either. I agree with that. I'm very curious what Rina's penalty is in particular. Everybody's penalties are scary. I still didn't know what Rika's penalty would be like. Basically, you can't afford to lose this game. Everybody here ready? We all nodded determinedly. Having confirmed that, Mion dealt out the cards. Finally, the battle begins. I had a decent starting hand. Card after card was played in the middle. No needing Mion to tell them, both Rika and Satoko played their cards without hesitation. Rina and I were the only ones who paused to think. It seemed that Rina genuinely couldn't make up her mind. But I was different. I said I was built different. I was like a shark stalking its prey, waiting for the right time to strike. Huh? Will this work? Then I'll play this 3 and I'm out. 9. Nobody. 8. 7. I'm out. 5 and 5. I'm out. Then I'll discard this last one, and I'm out. So Mion lost. But I missed my chance. The loser of the first round was of all people Mion, and now I was certain. Today I could win. Now then. Me, pull out one of the slips, okay? Mion, accepting her defeat, scrounged around inside the bag and pulled out one piece of paper. What? Who did this? Who wrote this? Mion quivered and shrieked. What is it? Huh? Rena was also surprised when she peeked at it. What kind of terrible thing was written on it? Pet the principal on the head. Hey, wait. How is this bad? Keiichi, do you not understand? The principal's ashamed of his thinning hair. Okay, dude, he's balding. What the fuck? He's balding and they're making fun of him. Unfucking fortunate, man. Tsutoko yelled with a serious look on her face, but she wasn't as loud as Mion's shriek. What could it be? The principal is a martial arts... Okay, what else is the principal not? He boasts about traveling around the world perfecting his skills when he was younger. He switched to teaching after seeing the poor state of education in Japan after the war. He was inhuman. Pet that guy's head? As a club president, there is no way I can set a bad example by refusing. Whew. Oh yeah! She bellowed out a yell as she dashed off down the hallway. Wouldn't it have been easier to sneak out quietly and try to do it without making a fuss? Probably impossible. They say he used to hunt sea slugs just by sensing their presence. He could do nothing but wait with bated breath. Her pow! Fucking nuke goes off in school. A rumble shook the classroom. The principal's special launcher move just started. Okay. Following the launcher with a jab, strong, fierce combo? He's even using meter! Wow, it sounded the principal's jumping fierce. Sounds like a multi-hit combo. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Nothing I could do now except stay calm. I understood now why there were no delinquents at the school. Mion is fucking dead. After a few moments of silence, Mion slumped back to us. Petted. Is that good enough? Mion said before collapsing. She's alive at least. Now we can continue the game. Monster. I was amazed this person who made club activities like these could say that. I was actually just thinking something. I want to hear what all their voices sound like. I'm not going to use it, but I do want to know what they sound like. Oh. That is not the voice I expected for her. I know what this girl's voice is going to sound like. Yeah. That was like the most obvious thing on the planet. Her voice sounds like I expected it to. Everyone else's voice is much higher pitched than I expected it to sound like. I don't know why the game locks up like that randomly. I was amazed the person who made the club activities like these could say that. But now... Wait, what? Oh, space gets... I thought space would have advanced like it does in most every other fucking VN. The worst penalty is gone now, right? Right? Rena tried to lighten the mood and was only met with Mion's malicious grin. She was serious now. I'm not holding back anymore. You'll all get yours. The pace of the game became bizarrely quick. I could tell the game had gotten more intense. Ace, 3, 4, 5, I'm out. I'm out as well. I'm out too. 3 and I am now out. Eek, I lost. And the heavens chose to vanquish Rena. What kind of penalty, I wonder? What kind of penalty, I wonder? It wasn't exactly hard for her to be worried. Just thinking of the level of difficulty of Mion's first penalty still made me quiver. And so the penalty she drew with trembling fingers was... The heck was this? Speak like a maid. Huh? What is this? This one, what do I need to do? So basically it means you have to use the same expressions as a maid. How... okay, master. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no idea who wrote that penalty, but she was awesome. Okay, dude. Then Rena, can you shuffle the cards and deal? Yes, master. I could just die right now. This guy's a coomer. Anyways, let's continue. Right, Rina? Yes, Master. The eagerness to which I was goading Rina into addressing me as Master was downright impressive if I do say so myself. Oh yeah, I won't lose any more. I'm out. I shan't lose either. I'm out. My guy's about to lose. Oh, then with that, I'm out too. Dude, Rina double lost. I can't believe it. Is it Rina's loss again? Rina again. What kind of penalty would it be this time? I was delighted by the mysterious sense of anticipation. Anticipation? No, this was conviction. Remove one item of clothing from the top and bottom halves of your body. I knew someone was going to do something like this. That's just indecent. Who could have written this? My face reddened in anger. He is probably the one that wrote this. If I didn't yell something out, I wouldn't be able to hide my shaking. Ah, who did write that? God, please give that man a Nobel Prize. This guy is a Coomer. What the fuck? That would be an ignoble prize. Not good, not good. What was I thinking about? What I was thinking about was written on my face. Me. Rina begged Mion with teary eyes, but everyone knew Mion's answer already. I mean, this is where you have to hit him with the meme. Define an article of clothing. She has like a tie on here. Boom, take that off. Easy clap, that's done. And for bottom half, take off her shoes. Actually, they might not be wearing... I don't know if they would wear... I'm assuming they would wear shoes. Take off her shoes, easy clap. If they don't, then make the foot fetishist happy. Take your socks up. There you go, easy clap. Nope, nope, won't go easy on you. You lost, so take it like a man. Understood, Master. I'll undress. What? I looked around thinking someone else would probably stop her. Of course, I wasn't exactly trying to stop her either. Then I heard the rustling of clothing. The sound of her skirt hitting the ground sent my heart racing. Is this fine, Master? I looked away like a gentleman. But these club activities, you need to be ruthless after all. Keiichi, whatever were you expecting? Certainly we would not have her strip if she weren't wearing her PE clothes underneath. Stoko poked fun at me, but right now, I can't hear it. Not bad, Kay. This old man never even thought you would go after her like that. You've got it wrong. I didn't write that one. But Master didn't write this one? Her squirming around in her PE clothes made it impossible for me not to feel anything. Calm down, Keiichi. Mion probably wrote that one and planned to go after me as I panicked. You can't fall for her trap after knowing it's a trap. Clear your head, calm down, and assess the situation. I was determined to think my way out of this. And the answer was quite simple. I win! I then became a god. And I also blinded me. I, who had already entered the domain of godhood, what would dare stand in my way? It was like they were pulled to me magnetically. I was picking up aces and twos like nobody's business. How could my luck of the draw be so bad? Satoko lost, right? I'll draw the penalty. Speak like a little sister. Fine. Oni, I'm not saying this. Yes, the pleasure of making this brat disgrace herself. Ugh, this old man loses again. Mion's lost, right? I'll draw it out. Wear a girls' school swimsuit. Pog, dude. No, that's the one I wanted Kay to get. Yes, Mion's despair was like sweet honey. Master, I lost again. Rina lost? I'll draw it for you. Dude, is my guy cheating? Is he forcing CDing right now? Let the person in first place rest their head on your lap. How? In this outfit? Yeah, she's not wearing a skirt. So it's her bare leg. This guy is a fucking Coomer. Holy shit. Eek. I'm not reading that. Satoko lost again? I'll draw it. Obey the person in first place. How about I have you give me a shoulder massage? Fine. Come on, do it a bit harder. Don't use your nails. This guy's a little bit of a sadist. I had transformed into an evil dictator and couldn't be doing any better. It felt like I could control how the cards played out with my mind, and even decide what suits would appear just by willing it. By the time I realized it, I had already assembled a harem. I was laughing haughtily as I rested my head on Rina, who was now a bloomer-clad maid. Satoko was wearing a collar and had taken on... Oh my lord, what the fuck? Mion was fanning me while wearing a school swimsuit. How? Today is Master's overwhelming victory, isn't it? Please refrain from moving your head around so much. I began to think, why does man have no end to his desires? How could I wish for more than this palace of dreams? What is it, Keiichi? I'm saddened by the thought of a man having no ends to his desires. That was it. Rika hadn't been in first, but she continued to escape being in last. Keiichi's quite greedy. It said you should know when enough is enough. I know that very well. But how to say it? I feel like I wouldn't mind if I died now. Eek! Master, please refrain from moving your head around. You say you wouldn't mind dying. Then that can be arranged. Rika said it in her usual calm manner with a cheery tone. This was undoubtedly a declaration of war. Go, Rika, go. Take him out. Oh, yikes. Defeat this archdevil of perversion. Just call him a Coomer, it's more accurate. I might not be able to win, but I'll beat him. Such stoicism from this little girl, who's always hidden away in Satoko's shadow. It would probably be rude not to meet her head on. I shall face you myself, little one. I saw Mion swap a few cards with Rika in the middle of the game, but pretended I didn't see it. Do you believe you can defeat Keiichi with just that? 2. Ace, ace, ace. 8, 8, 8, 8. Reversal. Everybody looked over at me. I was still brimming with confidence. The 4 of them have allied against me. That's it? You're making me laugh. That was good. Reversal, reversal. Okay, it's frozen. Hello? What? How could such a thing be? Satoko let out a shriek. You simpletons. Using up all of her cards before calling the reversal left Rika with no good cards. She was defeated soon after. I lost. Finally, you fall into my clutches. Now I'll pick one out. What? Wear cat ears, a bell collar, and a tail. Oh, yikes, dude. I'm starting to cringe. Even the penalties were as I wished. Rika hung her head and equipped the 3 holy artifacts. It's questionable as to why such things were in Mion's locker, but since I had no objections, I didn't ask. Oh, yikes. I'm not reading this. Cute, isn't it? Isn't it? I want to take her home. That wasn't me talking. That was the actual Rina. As Rika mimicked a cat, teary-eyed, rings of smoke escaped from Rina's ears with an audible poof. Rika must taking her home. Just for a while. I won't do anything strange, nothing strange. I see. I still have one trick left. Mion gasped and dropped her fist into her open palm. If Rina must, she can take me home. After Rina beats Keiichi, she can. They thought that Rina in cute mode would be able to defeat me. Would it be that easy? Opposing me was the same as opposing God. I'll teach them their place. Dude, this guy is a little bit... He's power tripping a little bit right now. How preposterous. That Rina can't defeat me. For a moment, I didn't know what was going on. The 52 cards danced and flowed freely between Rina's hands like the machinations of a master magician. In the middle of those flowing cards was Rina's ecstatic expression, her head bobbing around. Shall we, Keiichi? Hurry, hurry. My whole body knew it already. I was going to lose. No play? Nothing to play, Kay? Then with this, I'm out. Everyone cheered. I was spent. Whew, I've got no regrets. God, thank you for letting me dream a little. Now then, I'll take one out. It'll be something so basic. Keiichi's penalty! This is it?! Everyone peeked at it in unison, gazes flicking between the text and my face. All day today, I did as I pleased. I'll do whatever it is. What's on there? They're gonna lie. They're gonna lie. They're not gonna say, all, huh? Every penalty up until now. What the heck? Keiichi, should you not be speaking like a little brother? Yes. This is quite addicting. Next, I'll have you rub my shoulders. Keiichi, I don't need the lap pillow, so do that other one, okay? Yes, master. Keiichi, that's so cute. Say it again, say it again. No, please spare me, master. Yikes. Rina passed out with a squeal, blood spewing from her nose like a fountain. My dignity was being trampled more than a communal doormat. Next is from this old man. I'm gonna have you fan me for a good long while, you know? Whoosh, whoosh. Oh, almost forgot. You need to wear this, don't you? The school swimsuit. Huh? This is for girls. Can I wear one for boys? It was clearly written here, wear a girl's school swimsuit, as you can see. Satoko was like a loan shark. Actually, me trying to escape reality as fast as humanly possible was pretty adorable, if I did say so myself. But whose school swimsuit am I gonna wear? Or wearing one of yours, you wouldn't like it, right? This old man doesn't care about that kind of stuff at all. Think of it as a little benefit. I'm not that in shape, so I think even Kay can fit into it. The executioners surrounded me, wagging their fingers. No. And he fucking died. My first thought, it's tight around the waist. Second thought, the chest area was pretty loose. Third thought, the crotch area was, Kichi is bending forward. Cute, cute. Yikes. You'll be ready after you wear the cat ears, bell, and tail. Okay, wanna look in the mirror? It's amazing, really. Probably best if you look. The stern, scientific, calculating nature mixed in with her fascination made Mion very scary. I would like to respectfully decline, Master. Your ensemble is complete. If only we could send you home dressed like that. Oh. Then, is this enough? I'll change and... While I was saying that, Mion placed her hands on my shoulders and Rika slipped up behind me without a sound. Not yet, Keiichi. There's still the first penalty left. In this getup, Rika patted my... Oh, to go the principal. Sir, excuse me. Yes, please come in. I stepped forward into the principal's office. My bell collar jingled adorably. The principal froze solid with a smile on his face as he saw me. I couldn't blame him. In this sacred place of study, specifically in his office, though I said excuse me as I entered, the sight of a person entering with a school swimsuit, cat ears, a collar, and a tail, and for it to be a young male student, without a doubt, any normal person's psyche would have stopped cold. But this could be explained. We'll call it uncanny valley camouflage, if you will. When humans see others, they can only begin to act after confirming this is human. Meaning that if he could not comprehend what was in front of him, then in those moments before he could begin to fully process the situation, his mind was completely blank. So now's your chance, is what you're saying. This is my one and only chance. My penalty, rubbing the principal's head. Principal, I challenge you. A zazzing sound echoed loudly. He went straight for the special move? The principal said one thing to me. What does it mean to be a man? And in a heartbeat, he fucking nuked me. I'm dead. The tremor resounded through the Hinami-Zawan twilight. My guy's fucking dead. The game is over. He's dead. It's over. It's fucking over. It's done. Oh. Now we're on to, hopefully, the story progress part. Oh, yeah, stretch real quick. Rina was given permission to caress Rika's head as much as she wanted, so they headed home together, very pleased. Once again today, it was just Mion and I going home. Hell yeah, this is what we like. Man, that was intense. I didn't know Kay was so good at president. No, I was more surprised than anyone. If I was playing with guys, I wouldn't have been that strong. Wait, what's that supposed to mean? Is that a squad W take? What the fuck? Still, it was pretty bad. Being carried off in a stretcher in that outfit will probably haunt me until the day I die. Ahaha. But that's fine, isn't it? You're able to do something to boast about for the ages, too. Huh. Well, when she says it like that, we both smiled at each other. Oh, we meet again, Keiichi. It was Tomitake. It felt like I'd been running into him quite often. Hey, take any good pictures? Well, a few. So, Tomitake suddenly leaned over and whispered into my ear. You sure get around. Today I already have a different girl. Yo, my man! You're damn right. It's not like that. No need to hide it. It's important to get lots of experience when you're young. Because Tomitake let out such a crude laugh, Mion knew what we were talking about without even hearing his whispering. I've heard through the grapevine that Mr. Tomitake isn't doing so badly himself, No, that wasn't my intention. Sure. Keep up the good work and take plenty of pictures. See ya. Mion seemed to really want to get rid of this lout quickly. From the way she spoke, it seemed as if Mion knew Tomitake quite well. How's the year treating you, mister? Staying until the Watanagashi. Yep, I plan to. After photographing the festival, I plan on heading back to Tokyo. Being a photographer sure is easy. Be sure to win some big award and become famous. You spent all your best years on photography, after all. I don't think I'm that far gone. Don't they say men start developing their own unique flavor in their 30s? What does it matter what you still taste like? That's so gross. Look at the time. I need to get back to the inn before it gets dark. Tomitake began to take his leave with a dry laugh. It did look like he was outmatched by Mion. Now then, I'll see you both at the festival. So the one thing that I notice, which is maybe not surprising, he's much more friendly with Mion than to Rina. He didn't even know who Rina was, or at least it seemed as though he didn't know who Rina was. Now, part of me thinks that that's just because Mion, it seems, has lived here her whole life, and Rina is a transfer student from a year ago. So, it could be that, but I don't know. After waving a hand cheerfully, Tomitake disappeared amidst the cries of the Higurashi. The way he's going, he probably won't ever get famous. I had him promise he'd display a picture of me if he ever opened up a gallery, but I don't think that'll ever happen. So you know Tomitake? Yeah, he's an acquaintance of sorts, but you know how easy it is to tell who's an outsider. It sounded like you meet him all the time. Tomitake comes around Hinamizawa regularly, maybe 2-3 times a year. He says he's taking pictures of the seasonal scenery and wild birds, but, well, those photos really are nothing to phone home about. The image Mion painted of Tomitake was fairly unique. The Tomitake I knew was more mysterious. The words flowed naturally from my mouth. I wonder if he's really here to take pictures of birds. Mion stared blankly at me as if to ask, why'd he say that? It just seems he's here for something other than taking pictures, I think. Don't you get that feeling? Like about that incident. Dismemberment? Oh, you too? If so, you got good instincts, Kay. She agreed with what I thought, but was quite chipper in how she said it. You knew about it then, Mion? Of course. He might be able to pull one over on everyone else, but he can't fool this old man. Mion was posturing pretentiously, but I'd easily come to a very different conclusion than from what she was imagining. Something's up here. It felt like all apprehensions I had about Tomitake disappeared, lifting a burden off my shoulders. I was finally able to appreciate how clear the evening sky over Hinamizawa was. I exhaled everything in my lungs and inhaled just as much. It smelled like dusk. What is it, Kay? It's just that I never thought the cries of the Higurashi could feel this good. What's got into you all of a sudden, Kay? We both continued to giggle, not knowing why. I wonder what Rina's doing. I bet she's getting her fill of Rika by now. She's probably in the middle of asking her over so she can treat her to dinner. It'd be great if she's able to take her home. I wonder. Rika is pretty good at that stuff. Yeah, I feel the same. That head petting penalty was probably from Rika. I thought so too. The only one who could get away with patting his head is Rika, after all. Just pointless chit-chat. The hot day felt like it was being cooled down by the cries of the Higurashi. Is it like frozen or... Okay, yeah, no, it's just... Wait, really? That was it? We didn't learn anything at all. You got an achievement, a fate worse than death. Have your luck run out. Community notice. We're greeting the end of the rainy season sooner than in prior years. On this day, when it feels like summer will soon arrive, I'm pleased that everyone is in good health. The season for the Onikakushi is finally upon us. I believe the assistance of the town council will make this a wonderful festival. I also wish to ask for the assistance of everyone in regards to a few things. 1. Collecting bazaar goods. Villagers are welcome to put their wares on show at the well-received Hinamizawa Grand Bazaar exhibition. Anything is welcome, from uncostumed gifts to used clothing. No raw goods, please. Management, Makino, telephone. 2. Recruiting Lil Festival drum dancers. The renowned Lil Festival drum dancers group, known for its careful choreography, the Shofo Society, is taking last-minute participants. We're looking for any Showboat elementary and middle schoolers. Management, Kimiyoshi. 3. Taking donations. We are accepting donations in multiples of 1,000 yen. For every 1,000 yen donation, you'll be awarded a refreshment stand ticket. Management. Sonozaki. Hey! We know that. We are always taking suggestions for ways to improve the festival. If you have an interesting idea, call Kimiyoshi at blank. There is a 200 yen refreshment stand ticket attached below the cut line. Okay, so the clear thing right there was the last names, right? I don't remember. So I know Rina's last name is Ryugu. I remember that Satoko's is weird. I didn't really read. I don't think this is anybody. But obviously we understand that the Kimiyoshi. Don't think that was anybody. So they're taking donation money. Okay. Because again, I'm just trying to, in my head, I'm trying to think about what is it that you can actually derive from any of these tips that you're getting, right? Because they seem to be quite innocuous, or is that the right word? I think it is. Yeah. Innocuous, not innocuous. They seem like quite harmless at a glance, right? There's nothing that seems too offensive about any of it. However, I do not necessarily trust it. There has to be something more to these. Because I'm assuming that there's going to be some mystery at the end of this chapter that I have to put together. Okay, I'm going to get a snack real quick. My water's fine. But I'll be right back. I'm kind of hungry. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. While I'm eating here, I'm just gonna read this. My girl. I'm almost done here. So let's think here. I'm trying to remember their last names. I know Mion's because she said it before, and I know Rina's because it's Ryugu. Can't remember the other twos. Gross. Dude, they're really bringing me down the Rina route. I'm not a fan. Holy fuck, I can read so much quicker when I'm not speaking. Hey, you're all very late. It's unacceptable to keep a lady waiting, Keiichi. Oh, my bad. So where's this lady I've kept waiting? What did you just say? Alright, Satoko was in top form as well. Seems she was excited about being able to get everybody in the club together. For the first time in a while. Excuse me. Whoa, Rika, cute. Rina let out an elated sigh. It seemed that the real lady had made her appearance. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to Keiichi as well. Damn, am I not everyone? Woohoo! She's kind of got... Mion's kind of got like a Kill Bill kind of thing going on here. Looking good. You're looking sharp again this year. Cute. Gonna take you home. Rika was wearing a Shrine Maiden outfit. Yep. Lena's little outburst was completely understandable. Rika's clothes sure look like the real deal. Is that a real Shrine Maiden outfit? My grandmother made them by hand. They're quite authentic. Rika has an important role to play at the end of the festival, so she's wearing this. I see, Rika was on the executive committee because she performed all the Shrine Maiden rituals for the festival. My work is only during the finale of the festival, so I can still play for a while. So we cannot afford to waste any time. Let us begin. Alright. Felt good to wander around the festival, just the 5 of us. Mion called everyone over to a stand that caught her attention and proposed a rather odd competition. Takoyaki eating race. Everyone has to buy their own. Ready? Go. I mean, that's just the Omega level. I mean, you could go like the Moneybags approach and just be like, fuck it, I'm not spending my money. What was especially standard for these kinds of events was the fact that they were simply balls of dough, takoyaki in name only. It burns. Are you okay, Keiichi? Have some water. My, eating those scalding takoyaki whole is suicide. I guess the trick is to buy the ready-made ones that have been left there for a while. They really don't taste good. Ugh, excuse me. The stall next to it was a shaved ice stand. It was still a bit too early in the season for that, but right then it didn't matter. Let's do shaved ice this time. It's a shaved ice eating race. Ready? Go. Shaved ice eating race? I can't. As long as you can melt it a bit with your body heat, then you can drink it. It's so cold. Not smart. This old man ordered it with plenty of syrup. It'll melt quickly when it's mixed up. Those stooges were too late. The moment they chose to tackle it head-on was their downfall. Whew, I'm finished. He poured some of it out. Kay is done? That was too fast. It couldn't be. Keiichi, you didn't add water from the goldfish tank behind you, dude. That can't taste very good. Did he? Dude, what a monkey. Next to that was another old favorite, a cotton candy stand. Why don't we do this one next? Of course, it's a speed eating contest. Hey, how do you eat cotton candy quickly? How? On Satoko's mark, Mion, Satoko, and I all compressed the cotton candy with our bare hands. The time it took to stick the whole thing in our mouths, 3 seconds. I expected Satoko to figure it out, but I didn't think Kay would too. I can't have you treating me like I'm a newbie forever, can I? It won't taste very good. Rika had also crushed it. Holy fuck, I got the hiccups. Between her hands and stuck it into her mouth. This is probably the only place in Japan where people eat cotton candy like this. I think only Rina's cotton candy was happy with how it was eaten, but it felt like we'd end up doing stuff like eat needles through the nose contest or human water pump at the goldfish scoop at the rate things were going. This old man will probably still win, too. I am simply no match for Mion when it comes to eating repulsive things. Yeah, seriously. What's up with you guys? Are you telling me you don't want to have a blue Hawaii top yakisoba eating contest? Shake, shake. Both Satoko and I shook our heads in unison. We have a game that doesn't involve food this time, can we? Rina's proposal was a godsend. It was about time we played a different kind of game. It also seemed like neither Rina nor Rika were any good at speed eating or gorging themselves. Okay, Rina, I'll let you pick out the next game. Anything is fine. Well then. I'm gonna be the judge. Find cute things on the festival grounds. You have 1 minute. Fine by me. I know exactly what Rina likes. Alright, I think I can win with that. Ready? Go. Oh? Why aren't Keiichi and Rika starting? Why not? Mion and Satoko dashed off madly, but Rika and I calmly stayed right where we were. Could it be you've already found it? The cute thing? Oh god, are we gonna get a cheesy joke? We've already found it. Keiichi too? Yeah. What is it? I can't wait. Both Rika and I stood motionless for those few moments before Mion and Satoko returned. This is probably the first time we've gone head-to-head like this.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
C-Fan, what the fuck? That was good timing. That was actually good timing. What the fuck? Yo, that was actually good. Holy fuck. It will be the first. Rika, you expected to win with that, huh? I am a member of this club as well. Win by any means is our society's third rule. Rika sneered to the best of her ability. You're on. Both Mion and Satoko came back, each with their own plan of attack stuffed in their arms. Okay then, let's go in order. Let's start with the club president, me. Too bad, you guys, I'm ending this now. This old man brought this! Where did she get those? They were old diamonds. They were old... I'm having a stroke. They were old diamond-shaped tin signs. Pleb curry, snake coil incense, nostalgic tin signs from the old days. How about this? It's very understated. A little too understated, Mion. I used to see those stuck up on barbed wire fences. They were more nostalgic than cute. Can you explain what part of that is cute? But there were puffs of smoke noisily shooting out of Rina's ears and nose, almost like a steam train. I didn't get it. I shall be up next. It is this. It was the hand-drawn poster from the Ladies' Society Roasted Corn Stall. Man, wow, sounds cute. It was really a bad sketch done by a housewife. That's kind of what I was thinking. An anthropomorphic roasted corn drawn without any sort of real plan. Its very existence invited a sense of sorrow to the viewer. Okay, dude, chill. Weep? That was the sound of blood jetting out of Rina's nose. It seemed to have been rated higher than Mion's. I really didn't get it. It feels like your artistic sense is a little avant-garde by about 5 eons. Oh, those were nothing but mass-produced signs after all. They had no chance against something hand-drawn. I couldn't even begin to follow the way those guys were thinking. Then I'll be next. Next is Rika, is it? What can you even do without anything? Did you and Satoko both forget? If Rika felt like it, she could simply... After moving back about 10 yards, she began waddling up to Rina. Seeing that both Mion and Satoko gasped. Oh no! Too late. Rika tripped over nothing and lay motionless after falling down. Rina hurried over to her. Rika, are you alright? Alright? Rika had a lump on her forehead and tears welled up in her eyes. Only her fingers peeked out from her sleeves. This was the vital part, just so you know. He had to let you know. The palms of her hands were covered by her sleeves. She made just a single sound. Meep. Dude, this used to be the sound in Dota when you clicked on a invulnerable structure. It used to go meep merp. Cute! Going to take you home. I'd completely forgotten that. The play that I personally had to use. Rina's face went completely red, her head bobbing back and forth with excitement. She embraced Rika and began rubbing her cheek against her. Okay, dude, when is shit gonna go bad? I feel like something's gonna go bad here. I'd expect no less from her. Not a single element was overlooked. She's tiny. Shrine Maiden. Brink of crying. Meep. It was perfect. A simple trip transcended into pure moe. Now this is what you call art. It is a pretty weird definition of art. Dude, Mion is so based, man. I'll just pretend the sharp sting of those words cutting through me like a razor was a figment of my imagination. Rika turned her gaze to me with a daunting smile as she was caressed by Rina, who was in full cute mode. Now, Keiichi, can you beat me? That cold smile is frightening, Rika. It must just be my imagination, but I see a demon inside her sometimes. Kei seems to have his own plan of attack. I wonder what he's gonna show her. It's fucking wiener, public expose. I also wish to observe the play Keiichi will make. Could it be? Is Keiichi also gonna give a performance? I basked in their pointed stares. I pulled Rina, who gave no sign of canceling out of cute mode, away from Rika. How cute thing, Keiichi, let go. I'll show you something even cuter. Okay, dude, it feels like he's about to be an exhibitionist. I'm a little bit Monk W here, dude. Huh? Oh, this is something even cuter? But it's a bit too crowded. Oh my god, dude, he's gonna... Rina looked very surprised as I pulled her behind the shrine. I cannot fathom what Keiichi could possibly be planning. Kei wouldn't stoop to... No. Would he? Keep on fighting, yeah. Dude, I'm a little bit worried here. I know he won't, but after a bit I returned. And after a bit after that, so did Rina, dragging her feet. There's no way that Scoundrel K did something to innocent little Rina. Mion and Satoko passed by me, heading straight to Rina. What exactly did he do to you? For a moment, Rina was too dazed to realize someone was talking to her. Oh, it's me. How... Rina, are you alright? Did K do anything to you? No, he didn't do anything strange to me. This is quite severe. Exactly what did Keiichi show you? It was so cute. Oh, uh-oh. Cute? What did he show you, Rina? Rina let out a really long howl. Her eyes sparkled as she spoke. Cute. Oh my god, what the fuck did I just read? I didn't even click, it just went. In the blink of an eye, Mion and Satoko's elbows smashed into my face. Huh? What? Showing Rina something so dirty. You sick pervert. I shall have you beaten into oblivion. Wait, you got it all wrong. A dark billowing aura flowed from Mion and Satoko. It was no good. They're gonna kill me. Mia, I'm not sure what's going on, but you got it all wrong. You see, Keiichi-kun had... I just said kun. Fucking kill me. It's a first seal keychain. Rika stuck her hand into my pocket and pulled out my keychain. Huh? He said he made it long ago for one of his summer school assignments. He said he doesn't show it to others often because it's embarrassing. Yeah, so small and cute. He tried his best to make it. It's so wonderful. Oh, this old man thought you meant it was Keiichi's. Oh ho ho, I'd expect no less from Mion. You misconstrue things in the wildest ways, said the one who literally also did it. They slung insults at each other and looked like they were ready to tear into each other at any second. I beg of you, if I'm in the clear, would you mind getting off of me? Uh-oh, it's Tomitake. We were interrupted by the flash of a camera. Hey kids, how's it going? I like taking pictures of underage kids. Sorry, let me... It's like... Hey guys, you all seem energetic as usual. It was Tomitake. As I lay crumpled on the ground, Mion and Satoko continued to bicker above me. Rika was patting me on the head and Rina was still in cute mode. It was possibly quite a lively scene. It's a fine evening indeed, although it's rather poor etiquette to photograph a lady without her permission. That's right, at least you don't really need Satoko's permission. Good ass meme. Ugh. Satoko dug her heel into me. What, she fucking axe kick you? Good evening. Ah, you're headed back tomorrow, aren't you? Were you able to take lots of good photos? Wait, why are they on, like, a not first name basis? Why are they, like, friends now? He said he didn't know who she was before. Thanks for asking. I got plenty of good shots. The night's the last we can see old Tomitake, isn't it? Such a shame. Hurry up and have your major breakout soon. Just as rude as ever, aren't you? I really am sad I won't be able to hear that voice of yours for almost half a year. Okay, chill, bro. You're a bit old. Be sure to have as much fun as you can tonight. You'll be back in Tokyo tomorrow, after all. That's true. It will be another 6 months, until I can enjoy another night where I can see the stars. Tomitake looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I sensed a bit of sadness. Why don't you move here, Tomitake? In Hinamizawa. This is where he's like, he turns around, he's like, you don't know the shit I've seen in this fucking town. And it's like, oh, okay, dude, it was a suggestion. It's not very convenient here. No shops or recreational spots. There might not be anything really here, but, you know... Tomitake was also well aware, so Rina, Mion, Satoko, and Rika, none of them butted in. I've only been here for less than a month, so I don't really know everything about it. Normally I'm a really talkative guy, but in situations like this, I'm at a loss for words. Even though all this was happening in such a boisterous setting, it felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance. This place is probably... Tomitake rested his hand on me gently, silencing me. Thank you, Keiichi. Mion and Rina, Satoko and Rika. Tomitake's smile was so slight it looked as if he was going to crumble at any minute, but it was warm. I also think it would be great if I could live here. Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself. A hand touched my back. It was Rina. Keiichi, you shouldn't pick on adults, it's not nice. The background clamor of the festival returned. We won't be seeing him for a while after all. We need to make sure Tomotage also enjoys tonight. When Rina smiled, the mood instantly got brighter. That's true. I think I'll do just that. Ah! Hey me, how about it? Can we let Tomotage into our club activities? I don't like where this is going at all. It's a great idea, or so I thought. Mion had a snobbish look on her face. One of the requirements for membership is residence in Hinamizawa, you see. Come on, me, just for today, don't be mean. Well, he does come around often every year. I'll make him an honorary citizen. Whoa, yay. Now then, I wonder if this aged fellow, well past his prime, will be a match for me. Let's have him show us the wisdom of a mature adult. Can you keep us... I'm having a fucking stroke. Can you keep up with us youngins? Tomotage stepped back slightly at our audacious grins. I, Mion Sonozaki, club president, do hereby authorize honorary citizen Tomotake's entry into our club. Her words were quickly drowned out by our cheers. What do you mean by club? What our club does, you see. In order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities with various rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. What it means is we actually just do black tar heroin behind the school. I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer you not single me out. Let's try to get along. If you wish to mock our childish games, then this will be the perfect opportunity. We'll leave you with nothing. We won't even leave the hairs on your butt. Wow, good insult there, bro. So it's a club where we play games together. Of course, Rika was the only one to give an answer that made sense. Alright. It's just what I wanted. I'll take you up on that challenge. I'm having a stroke right now, sorry. Don't be too rough on me, my mentors? Yeah. I'm having a fucking stroke, okay? I don't feel good. I feel like something's about to happen here. I don't trust this. Tomotage got riled up and did a victory pose like he was 10 years younger. That's perfect! We continued walking through the festival with Mion in the front. Now we looked like a family of 6. It had some intensity to it. Same rules as always. The loser will, of course, be subject to a penalty. Tomotage was a bit surprised, but to us it was just the same as always. Regardless of how terrible a penalty it was. Just don't lose. Forehead. Rina was also brimming with determination. She didn't have any intention of losing. That's true. I tousled Rina's hair to lighten the mood. She giggled to hide her embarrassment. I see. This is what it means to feel like a kid again. Tomotage whispered that to nobody in particular. At that moment, we heard an old man call out in a strong voice. Looking over, I realized it was the man Mion had greeted right before the festival. You're here, little Miss Sonozaki. Seems you brought quite the crowd. We came to eradicate your entire stall. This stall was a shooting gallery. It was the usual setup where you had to knock down the prize you wanted with a cork gun. The rules are simple. 3 shots, the winner is whoever gets the biggest prize. Everybody shouted their agreement. These games are rigged against you, by the way. You shouldn't do these. Not worth it. There was no need to consider how to win, since the condition for victory was simply size. The biggest prize of the stall, it went without question. It was that one, wasn't it? Whoa, that teddy bear. Cute. You mean this right here? Rina was gazing longingly at a large stuffed animal. It was intentionally placed on an unsteady platform, so it was possible to get it if you hit the right spot. It's magnificently set up to make someone think that. Not bad, Keiichi. I figured you would see through the scam instantly. The most logical course of action would be to aim for some candy or a doll. The intent analysis had already begun. In this club, you'll get eaten alive if you don't come prepared. Everything hinges on what plan you can come up with before the main event. At some point, a large crowd had gathered around us, making a big fuss. There was this much of a following for our club's infamous event? Knocking that bear down ensures a win. Only 3 shots. To use them all just trying? That'd be rough. Hey, I have other customers waiting, you know. Who's up first? The first one has the advantage of being able to aim for the easier prizes, but it's dangerous to compete without knowing the gun's quirks. Tomotake's take on the situation was pretty good. Well, it's also better to go second, because then you know how much you need to win. Because then you can change your strategy depending on how much you need it. So, you know, it's fun. Well then, to be fair, how about using rock, paper, scissors to decide? How about it? That's really the only way. Rock, paper, scissors. You always go scissors, okay? This is a true-ass fact. You always open scissors. After a couple matches, it ended up with Mion being first. I didn't want to end up first. Ah, well. I'll just think of it as a handicap. Gramps, gun. Here you go. When the shooting range guy handed her the rifle, Mion looked over it intently. She didn't forget to check the corked bullet either. Okay, this gun's brand new, isn't it? No fault's not bad. Mion raised the gun in one swift motion. It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip. Pop. Fire, reload. Pop. Fire, reload. Pop. Flop. Flop, flop. 3 candy boxes fell, one after the other. A big haul. The crowd paused in a moment of awe and then erupted in cheers. Whoa, awesome. That was quite good. Tomitake was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess. Amazing me. 3-3. Her accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. They were all targets with very high return on investment, ROI for those in the know. Who's up next? Satoko? Careful, the bullets are light. Next was Satoko. The rifle looked a bit big for her lithe body, but it didn't seem like she had any problem with the weight. Of course, I shall aim for the grand prize. She proclaimed she was going after the teddy bear. Like, am I stupid? I mean, did she mean the teddy? Whatever. Damn, Satoko, such a bold move. The moment she knocked it over, she's guaranteed to be in first. Good luck, Satoko. Satoko was the opposite of Mion. She aimed at the target quite carefully and squeezed the trigger. Ah, these bullets are too light. The first 2 bullets struck the bear in the torso, but it only shifted a bit. You need to aim higher towards the head, or it won't work. Satoko's 3rd bullet wasn't aimed at the bear, but at the candy box below its arm. I hate to say it, but it appears the bear is just too much for me. She went boldly after the big catch, but since she switched over to less impressive prey at the last second, the crowd only gave a strained laugh. Stupid bitch! It's like, whoa, were they laughing because she lacked the courage? These fools know nothing. Fine attempt, Satoko, you've gotten better. The palm of Mion's outstretched hand went pomp as it tapped down lightly on Satoko. She appeared to just be talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn that Satoko, just to avoid being in last place, she dared to switch over to an easy target. Well, no shit, dude. Doesn't take a fucking genius to realize that. Without shame or honor, magnificent. Allow you to take the bear, Rina. I pray for your victory. Okay, thanks so much, Satoko. Mr. Bear's so cute. Rina was up next. She couldn't hit the broadside of a barn as regular Rina, but she said that bear was cute. She went Ultra Instinct. I wonder how Rina will do. Dude, something is really off here. I don't like this. Literally, like a chapter ago, this dude saw Rina, and he was like, I don't know, I've never seen her, and now he's like calling her by name. I just like, what happened? Whoa, Tomitake wheeled around to see what the commotion the spectators were making was about. If it was to get that bear, she'd be able to shoot through a pinhole. The one known as Rina Ryugu could do it. I don't know why it keeps locking. Shaking, it's shaking. How cute. Rina couldn't hide her excitement over the bear's slow rocking. Now Rina couldn't lose. Not bad, Rina. The less collected you become, the stronger you get. She's literally a shonen protagonist. Whoa! Another big cheer. Rina's bullet hit the bear's forehead again. Not enough. The bear seemed to wobble more than before. But it might not be possible. You never know. With Rina's skill, it might be. Well, Tomitake was just as excited as the crowd. Rika's analysis was not swayed by emotion. Holy fuck, can one of you just chop the other's head off? If Rina had 10 more shots, then she could surely knock it over. But with just one more, no matter how you looked at it, no go. Whoa, ow! The crowd let out a dejected groan. She had shot it right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit late, but they gave her a good round of applause for the attempt. How, Mr. Bear, take him home, how? She should be praised for her valor, but she had no trophies to show for it. Then, at that moment, the old man flicked one of the candy boxes with his finger and handed it to Rina. This for you, little lady. Huh, you're giving this to me? The gods wouldn't forgive me if I let you go home empty-handed after such a display. There was another shower of applause. Rina turned bright red and I pulled her back over to us by her hand. You did a good job. Your cute mode really surprised me. I really wanted Mr. Bear. Now, see, this is where my guy is going to be Simpius Maximus, and he's going to get the bear, and he's going to give it to her. We're here for the Cult of Mion. We don't care about Rena, okay? It was easy to see that it only needed a little more to be knocked over. Rena had done quite a lot for me. I still needed to pay her back for that delicious picnic. Alright, then I'll get it and give it to you. Dude, see, he just stole his thunder. Tomotage had stolen the words right out of my mouth. Tomotage might be a fucking pedophile, dude. Okay. Please, Tomotage. Good luck. Damn you, old man. Stealing the good parts for yourself. The small hand stretched over and fell gently on my head just before I was overcome with frustration. Keep on fighting too, okay? Tomotage carefully studied the bear. Setting his sights, he shouldered the rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand. Why is he doing that? Yes, no doubt. Tomotage is aiming for... Okay, he's going for it, dude. The time between shots was short. It was meaningless to shoot again once it stopped shaking. True, this guy's an actual 9-head. So Tomotage was relying on rapid fire to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it had before, but that was all. It still didn't fall. Okay, see, now? Oh, too bad. All of Rena's momentary expectation from watching it sway violently turned into a dejected sigh. I really thought it would work. Now, the real question is, was this guy trying to steal my thunder, or was he wingmanning me? That's a real question. Oh ho ho, it seems that since you're a man, you will not be receiving any candy. That was it. It meant Tomotage had no spoils of war. So both Kei and Rika can just shoot down a sure easy prize and avoid being dead last. Avoid being the loser, huh? Sorry about that. It's your turn next, Keiichi. Best of luck. I was a 5th shooter. I took the rifle from Tomotage. He smacked my ass as I went up. If I took the ruthless route as Mion had suggested, then I'd go for something insignificant. Except, when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning passion. Maybe it was gonorrhea. I can't tell, honestly. Passed down to me by Tomotage. The regret of not being man enough to fell the bear that Rena wanted. That's right. If I didn't aim for that bear, then I wouldn't be a man. After all, that was my promise to Rena. Huh? What promise? What? To shoot down that bear, then give it to Rena. That one. You mean... The crowd went wild when they saw our conversation. Dude, this is like... I can't believe these people care. That's not it, fine men of the crowd. If I didn't do this, then Rena might mug the old man running the stall on his way home. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings? Pretty cringe, dude. Keiichi sure talks the talk, but how do you actually intend to bring down that bear? Rena and Tomotake's shots did make it tilt a bit, but I think finishing the job will be difficult. Keiichi? If only there was some way to shoot faster, I'd be able to pile more power on the sway from each hit. Good luck. After taking 2 deep breaths, I shouted over to the guy. 2 more rifles. Oh my lord, he's gonna try and shoot 3 at once. The crowd murmured amongst themselves. I wonder what Keiichi is up to. One person can't handle 3 rifles at once. I get it. Nice thinking. Mion was able to figure it out magnificently. Basically, what was taking the most time was reloading the shot. That's right. Then by putting the 3 preloaded rifles next to each other, Tomotage went silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. His photographer's blood predicted a miracle would occur. And then the crowd finally picked up on what I was planning. They let out a great cheer. They chanted my name. Even though whatever, rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. After letting out a deep breath, I paused. Relax. Now. Going Ultra Instinct or am I dying? Did Dio cast the world? What's going on? That moment, it felt like time itself had stopped. I felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets, hit it, and knock it down. The first shot hit the bear on its head. The second. The third. The bear swayed hard, and then... It didn't fall. Fuck. So it was this bear. Woohoo! Yeah! Ooh! Oh! The cheers began before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. The guy caught it before it hit the ground and tossed it over to me. You actually knocked it over. You got me. Amazing. Congratulations, Keiichi. Keiichi has finally learned how to use his head. I see you in a slightly better light now. I didn't do it all by myself. Everyone hit it, and those small bits together brought it down. This trophy belongs to all of us. Right, this is from all of us working together. Except Tomotake's still gonna lose, so... Me didn't hit it a single time, yeah. After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Rina. Here, this is from me. No, from everyone. Thanks for always making your delicious lunches. Rina, thinking she was never actually going to get it, was momentarily speechless. I can't, Keiichi. This is everyone's after all. In that case, I was the one who knocked it down, and it's mine, so I'm giving it to Rina. I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again. This time she embraced and accepted it. You've watched out for me ever since I moved here, after all. I'm really grateful, you see. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much. She dove at me, and I stepped out of the way. She face planted. It was quite a spectacle. Mion told me a few days later that Rina kissed me, but I didn't realize it during all the excitement at the time. I remembered what I was trying to say to Tomotage earlier. There really isn't much of anything here. But there are lots of things you can't find anywhere else. I gained a lot from coming to Hinamizawa, especially at that moment. Let's get ready. I know something bad's gonna happen. There's no way. Something bad always happens at the end of all these episodes. The crowd's cheers echoed on. From the altar, set up in front of the shrine, the drums sounded with a booming echo. It was the finale of the festival. I'll be going off ahead then. Uh-oh. I need to go and get myself a good spot too. Well then everyone, see you in a bit. Both Rika and Tomotage gave their farewells and disappeared into the crowd. I wish both of you the best in your endeavors. Now, shall we be off? Yeah, might as well go see Rika's charming figure. Let's go. Yeah, huh? Where's Rina? What are you doing? Keiichi, me, save me. Since she was carrying such a ridiculously large stuffed animal, she was being carried by the flow of people. That's not like that big. What is she doing? She must have had her hands full taking care of the bear. So I'll leave Rina in your care, okay? I have my hands full taking care of Satoko. Dude, no. I don't care about Rina. I like Mion. We want to be looked after by you, Mion. Ouch, please don't pull on my arm. Before losing sight of Mion, I grabbed the back of Rina's collar. Keiichi, not there, don't grab me there. Always so bossy. Where can I grab then? Oh, yikes. Escalating. I didn't feel ashamed at all. Rina was ashamed enough for the both of us. I grabbed onto her hand and dashed after Mion and the others. We're gonna be late, let's hurry up. Yeah. I hadn't realized Rina's hand was so delicate. Maybe she needed a bit more exercise and nutrition. That wasn't what I meant, not at all. My ears burned. I tried to keep calm. I repeated the phrase, keep it together, Keiichi, in my mind, but it didn't look like I would be able to anytime soon. I really didn't want Rina to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once. That's quite rude. There was already a huge group of people gathered at the altar in front of the shrine. What, is she gonna, like, fucking execute herself? The fire at the altar made it as bright as midday and just as hot. Dude, we're gonna have a fucking public execution? Let's go! There was a pile of futons, warded with sanctified rope in front of the altar. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did something with the cotton in futons. Keiichi, Rina, we're over here. Satoko waved her hand from the front row. Ah, sorry. Making our way through the mass of people, we reached the spot they had saved. How was it? Were you able to have a little bit of excitement with Rina? You punk, so that's what your plan was? Instead of replying, Mion gave us a perverse grin. And my game froze. How was it, Rina? Was Kei's hand bigger than you Okay, dude. Yeah, I was about to say. Rina turned bright red, puffs of steam shooting out of her ear. I heard something slice through the air and turned around to see Mion on the ground with a welt on her face. Mion, when were you hit? Between the ha and o of her how, I think. Rina, it's not good to punch your friends to hide your embarrassment. I didn't hit her, whatever. Thump, the thunderous beat of the drum echoed, silencing the crowd. You must all be quiet, it's beginning. The ritual sacrifice to Pele. It was a solemn ritual. Rika entered, dressed as a shrine maiden, followed by members of the municipal committee. Ow. The elders all looked at Rika and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was the flash from Tomatake's camera. What's the big thing Rika is holding? Oh. Oh, Rena, I didn't know you were up on the stage. You could have just said. It's a sacred farming tool that only the Shrine Maiden may touch. It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment, not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika approached the pile of futons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe skillfully, plowing it into the futons. Each and every little movement of this performance probably had to be done in a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a ritual. What's next? Airing out futons? She's purifying the futons, which sacrificially absorbed winter's illnesses for those using them. So when Kay said airing out futons, he wasn't completely wrong. Rika's face was already dripping with sweat. That hoe was probably really heavy. It's rude. Why would you say that about Rina? She staggered side to side with the momentum of each swing. Satoko looked on, silently lending her support. Worried? Rika practiced every single day with the mochi hammer. She will certainly prevail. Satoko's hands were sweaty, and whenever Rika started to sway a little, she held her breath. Why wasn't Mion a candidate to be the Shrine Maiden? It feels wrong having Rika swing around something so heavy. I'd do it if they asked me, you know. And well, it's not something just anyone could do. It's true. Shrine Maidens need to be pure after all. That was a good one. Mion drove her elbow into my side. With the thud of the big drum, Rika gave a solemn bow and descended from the altar. That triggered a round of generous applause, just after the Shinto priest had raised up the cleansed futons like a portable altar. All the spectators stood up. Following after the priest, we all marched on at a moderate pace. They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a line. What's happening now? Washing the futons in the river? Aha. Watanagashi means setting cotton adrift, you know. Okay. The procession continued right up until the bank of the stream. A fire was stoked high, and it was bright as day here, too. People started crowding around it and clamoring. Alright, get in line. Line up, Keiichi. I wonder what was up. Maybe we'd get some holy wine? Red and white bean buns? It's not food. I said it was cotton. Ah, but of course. They didn't call it Watanagashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside the futons and balled it up like mochi, handing it out to people. Rina dove into the line and brought out some for me as well. We then proceeded to the bank of the stream. Since it's your first time, Keiichi, just copy what I do. She held the cotton in her right hand, and waving her hand as if to purify it, she touched her forehead, chest, navel, and both thighs. You do this 3 times, and silently give thanks to Oyashiro. Oyashiro? What's that? The name of the shrine's god? Yes, it's the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. It brings about both miracles and curses, so you must be sure to show respect. Sounded like a pretty frightening god, but, well, when in Rome, true, this guy's pretty clear about what's going on here. I was officially a resident of Hinamizawa now, after all. Doing as Rina showed me, I touched the cotton over myself 3 times. Thank you, Oyashiro. Thank you, Oyashiro. Oyashiro. This way, all the evil that possesses you is sucked out by the cotton. Then you let it gently drift away on the stream, and you're done. Together, Rina and I set our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all of the bad illnesses from Hinamizawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. And then, it created a huge fucking plug in the stream 3 miles down. It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd seen on TV. The best part, though, was feeling like this rite of passage had made me a true resident of Hinamizawa. Okay. Maybe something bad isn't gonna happen? At first I was a bit anxious. Hurting someone was something I never even considered. Nevertheless, the anxiety then gave place to loneliness, doubt, and more. And then that wicked murderous intent eventually took control of my mind. What? boy took the first step towards an unrecoverable daily life, not even realizing that he was walking into the abyss. Onikakushi, a tragedy born from the desire to believe. Are those tears of repentance or tears of resentment? I wonder what the middle part of that word meant, because it was in red. I'm assuming it's a translation. It's like, oh, it means something, but you know. While staring off into the stream, I somehow got separated from Rena. I wasn't very lonely though. I know this place now. This is where I live. My home. It'd probably be better. I added like 3 words there. It's probably better if I just stay here instead of wandering around aimlessly. Someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice. It was Tomatake's. I headed towards it. How did it go, Tomatake? Were you able to get some good shots? Yeah, fortunately. Tomatake-san was with a girl. I felt a little like I was intruding. How was it, Keiichi? Whoa, we have a model. And I don't mean a model as in like a model, but like she has a model. It's another character. Did you enjoy the festival? From the way she spoke, it seemed like she was a resident of Hinamizawa. I really should try harder to remember people's faces here. She kind of looks like the blonde-haired girl. What was her name? Well, it was fun. My face must have given away how desperately I was trying to remember her name, because she gave a light-hearted chuckle. It's probably because it hasn't been long since you moved here. It's pretty hard to believe, seeing how friendly you've gotten with the other kids. That's how it looked. It was probably all thanks to Rena and Mion. Perhaps you feel more like a resident of Hinamizawa after taking part in the festival today. I wonder about that. Oh, that's not like you. I had tried to get used to Hinamizawa, but there were still plenty of things I didn't know. The faces of people I'd met, for example. Things that had happened in the past as well. Oh. You're feeling left out because of something like that? It's not so much as feeling left out. It's just, I'm not sure how to say it. That incident at the damn construction site. The fighting over it and other conflicts. That terrible incident they pretended they didn't even know about whenever I brought it up. Even though it was in the past, as someone living in Hinamizawa, it wasn't wrong to want to know about both the good and the bad that had happened here. If it'll put you at ease, then I'll tell you everything I know. Tomatake's smile made me more relieved than I'd ever been. It was hard to think of what to ask when someone said, "Ask me anything," though. Even when there was so much I wanted to ask. Then, could you tell me about what happened when the dam was being constructed? There was a big incident where Hinamizawa was going to be submerged, right? I think the locals would be more knowledgeable about the dam than I am. Well, if you don't mind, I'll tell you what I know. It's only what I read in the newspaper, though. Tomatake's eyes entered an unfocused gaze as he searched through his memory. Then he spoke. The decision to start the dam project was finalized 7 or 8 years ago. I heard it was the next largest project after the one in Kurobe. The music stopped. There were major issues in Japan at that time. Improving inter-island transportation infrastructure, meeting the higher demand for electricity, and flood control. There was a boom of dam building due to the massive economic stimulus they provided, on top of generating electricity and flood control. Hinamizawa had the right conditions to support the dam constructions, so it was singled out. The dam reservoir would have covered quite a lot of ground when it was completed. The entire area, right up to Yorguchi, way upstream, would be underwater. But why did they have to pick a populated area like Hinamizawa? Couldn't they have instead picked a place where nobody lived? I'm not really sure why, but I heard it was just the right terrain for building a dam. Of course, there were protests here in Hinamizawa. Rika had said that they had fought, In that choice of words, I had to guess things had turned violent. I mean, you could also just say that they protested. I mean, like, we fought against it. Like, I mean, it doesn't literally have to be... It doesn't literally have to be violent. There was a trial, and it was even brought up before the National Diet. It was covered in the Tokyo newspapers, too. Mion told me all about that as well. I'm sure every resident of Hinamizawa had united to fight together. The feeling of solidarity found here, which could not be expressed properly with mere words, was likely brought about by that battle. As a result, bribery and scandals were brought to light. As things got more and more complicated, they eventually halted construction. I wanted to know, now was my only chance to ask. It was certainly a bizarre incident that boys my age would be curious about. I felt a little shame from the fact that I was petty enough to have my curiosity piqued by Rina and Mion's refusal to talk about the event. But I figured I might as well ask since I had the chance, just so I would stop thinking about it so much. Oh fuck, dude, my guy's going in. So, there was a dismemberment, right? There was. I happened to be here in Hinamizawa at the time, so I remember it well. Tomitake's answer was nonchalant in contrast to my hesitantly forced-out question. Oh, the music, dude. It was about this time, 4 years ago. It was the day of the Watanagashi, if I recall correctly. Debate on whether to continue construction on the dam was in disarray. Scandal after scandal rocked the project near the end. The incident, that was the final nail in the coffin for the dam project. Monk ass. A fight at the dam construction site ended in a victim being murdered. Fearing prosecution, the 6 assailants divided the remains into 6 pieces and each hid one. 5 of the 6 criminals turned themselves in out of guilt, but one was still on the run. The right arm he had hidden had yet to be found. The major details lined up with what was in the tabloid I had read earlier. It certainly was a tragic incident, but it wasn't so terrible that Rina and Mion needed to hide it from me. I guess they didn't want someone who had just moved here to have a negative impression of Hinamizawa. I felt grateful for having friends who worried so much about me, as well as shame for still being so interested in it. It was near the end of all the trouble with the dam, you see, so everyone was saying that it was Oyashiro's curse. Oyashiro's curse, huh? Oyashiro was the name of the god at the shrine that held the festival today, if I recalled correctly. I see. Their guardian deity rained divine punishment down on the evil dam construction for trying to flood Hinamizawa. Ooh, god, that picture scared me. Apparently the younger ones didn't think so. But seems the elderly in the village never doubted that it was Oyashiro's curse. The woman with Tomitake chuckled mischievously. Tomitake began laughing with her. It was so infectious, I ended up laughing as well. But I wonder about now. There are quite a few, I think. Amongst the youth, too. A few what? People who believe in Oyashiro's curse. The woman's lips were still curled into a smile, but her expression turned stern. Then after that, it continued every year, always around this time. Oh god, continued? What continued? Tomitake paused for a second, as if to build up some suspense, then he whispered to me as if someone might have been listening. Every year on the day of the Watanagashi. Somebody dies. Monk ass. The year following the dismemberment, on the day of the Watanagashi, a man from Hinamizawa who had supported the dam fell off a cliff overlooking some rapids and died while he was on vacation. Speaking of his wife, unfortunately, her body was also never recovered. He supported the dam construction, even though he lived in Hinamizawa. At the time, there were whispers amongst the elderly saying it was Oyashiro's curse. The woman chuckled mischievously again. Then the next year, the night of the Watanagashi, the shrine's Shinto priest died suddenly from an unknown illness. Okay. His wife drowned herself in the bog that night. Yeah, so this took a turn. I knew this was going to happen eventually. The shrine's Shinto priest. You mean he was from the shrine here? The woman nodded. There was a rumor amongst the villagers that they weren't able to quell Oyashiro's anger. Then, the year after that, again on the night of the Watanagashi, they discovered the battered body of a local housewife. Housewife? Up until now, all those mysterious deaths were people involved with the dam or who had connections with Oyashiro. With that in mind, could the housewife have been involved in some way too? Exactly. The woman stated slyly. I didn't mean to. No, it was more menacingly. The victim's family, you see, happened to be that of the younger brother of the dam supporter who fell to his death 2 years before. The younger brother is still alive, it seems, but it did bother him quite a bit, so he moved to the neighboring town. For a while, I stood there with my mouth agape. The battle over the dam construction, with Hinamizawa's future at stake, and the murder at the center of it all. That was all I knew, and that was all I wanted to ask about. But that wasn't all there was to this story. Homicide, body disposal, accidental deaths, terminal illness, suicide, fatal beatings. I'm a pretty level-headed person. I don't really want to believe in curses, but the freakish deaths happen every year on the day of the Watanagashi, and all of them were related to the dam construction. So I'm going to throw a flag right off the bat. I'm throwing a flag on this play. I think it's much more likely that there's just like a weird cult in this town. I've seen this too many times, you know? Weird cult in a country town, you know? That's what I'm thinking. It was easy to dismiss each of them as coincidences by themselves. But when you put them all together, dismissing all of them as coincidence would then defy logic. I don't believe in curses, but every single year, on the day of the Watanagashi, somebody or something makes it happen, without fail. The woman chuckled again, as if she picked up on what I was thinking. Excuse me, ugh, gross. It felt like she was saying, maybe there was. Maybe we frightened him. Stuff like that. I felt embarrassed at being read so easily. So I wonder if that's why Tomitake leaves. Why he doesn't want to be in the town. But then why would he stay for the festival, right? I think this is like a cult thing. That's what that's my take. It feels like this might be a cult. I felt a bit embarrassed at being read so easily. I pressed Tomitake to continue, a bit of impatience and irritation in my tone. Then, so someone died the next year, right? Who was it that time? I wonder. Who do you think, Keiichi? The hell? The way he said it didn't agree with me. The sarcastic tone ticked me off. Don't avoid the question, I'm serious here. My guess would just be that guy that moved town. Hey, calm down, Keiichi. I realized when she tried to calm me down that I had been panicking. We aren't trying to avoid the question, Keiichi. It's just when you say the next years, that's this year. It's today. When Tomitake hesitated to say it, she finished for him. I broke into a cold sweat. I really didn't like the direction this was headed. Nobody wants to speak of it, but they all think it's going to happen again tonight. The festival was so cheerful, though. Well, the victim last year, the housewife, she was a non-believer. It turns out she didn't even attend the Watanagashi festival. There was a rumor going around that if you don't participate in the festival, you would incur Oyashiro's wrath. So the way this feels like to me is it feels like we have like a weird cult going on in the town that is just like, that is confirming. So they made up this thing about this shrine god who has curses, right? And it feels like they're doing this as a way to like weed people out of their town that they don't like. And then they just push it off on like this deity, but in reality it's just them doing it. Guess we'll see. Didn't you hear anything about this, Keiichi? So now the question is, why would Mion and Rina avoid the question so much? Because this is the thing, right? Rina only got here a year ago. So it's not like she's been around for like 5 years like Mion has been. So now the question is, were both of them covering this up out of fear? Because maybe they're afraid if they talk about it. Because, like, let's say they're kids, right? They do believe in the curse. If they do think that this curse is real and that it's not something outside, if they think that, then they might be afraid to talk about it out of fear that they might incur the wrath of, like, this deity. And then we also have to think, did they do it for that reason, or did they do it maliciously? And I'm not sure what malicious intent they could have behind it. But there would definitely be, like, something malicious behind this. Because it wouldn't make sense. Because, like, why would they not... Because this is the thing. Not only did they not want to talk about the fact that there was apparently multiple, in air quotes, deaths, more so murders, it's more likely that they've been covering this up on purpose. But what would be the benefit? Because not only would they not talk about the original killing, they wouldn't talk about any of the successive ones after. Hey, what's up? I never even heard a whisper of that rumor. Then the reason everyone was at the festival was they were afraid of the curse? I figured that must have been the reason. There were a lot more people at the Onikakushi than usual. I guess everyone was just afraid, after all, of Oyashiro's curse. I couldn't utter a single word. And so instead I mooed. That was a bad pun, I'm sorry. In this modern age, where we've made progress in all scientific fields, shedding light on the unknown and misunderstood, where black and white television has been eradicated and we've put men on the moon, even with all of our accomplishments, this can exist in modern society? Tons of invitations were sent out to neighboring towns' youth groups to help pad the numbers. But after that string of events, few decided to join. The municipal committee members were complaining about how hard it was to gather participants. Also, the police are treating each case as isolated. They don't believe they're connected. And I think the police themselves might be doing this out of fear, because if there is like some weird cult in this town, if they treat them as connected, they might start coming for the police. But apparently, they sent quite a few plaincloth officers for security. Or plainclothes officers. We got some undercovers. It finally began to dawn on me why Rina and Mion were reluctant to talk. If nothing happened during the Onikakushi, everything would have been over with, and I'd be none the wiser. Yeah, so I think as well, they could have... So that's what I was saying earlier. There's two paths here. Either... there's probably more, but... It's either they lied or feigned ignorance out of compassion because they wanted to not let my character get involved. Or they didn't say it for some other reason. Which I don't really know what that reason would be right now. In that case, it would all end up being just crazy talk. I could have just pretended like I knew nothing from the beginning. Then, they wouldn't have had to act like nothing happened. And we would have all gotten back to life as usual. Maybe it was just too much for him after all. The woman ran her fingers through her hair as she sighed. No, it wasn't. Not at all. I had tried to act strong, but that just served... I don't know why I had stroke there. Served to emphasize how much the information had unsettled me. After seeing how I looked, Tomitake appeared to regret saying anything. Letting out a sigh, he then spoke, forcing an awkward, upbeat demeanor. Keiichi, surely you don't believe in such things as curses. Dude, you fell into the trap! Why would you say no? This guy just told you that people who don't believe in it die. You should lie. If the causes of all the crimes were unknown, with the perpetrators and their methods all mysteries, then I concede the possibility of a curse. That's not how things are in reality. Police investigations have already uncovered the truth and perpetrators for all of the cases. The first one, the dismemberment, for example. I told you, didn't I? All but one of the perpetrators were arrested. Well, actually, they turned themselves in, but it's only a matter of time for the last one. The motive turned out to have been an argument they had while intoxicated. It's no curse. Don't you agree? The accidental deaths of the couple who supported the dam is the same. He was in a position that made others hate him. The police made a point of investigating that angle. They concluded it was an accident, not foul play. But they both happened on the day of the festival, right? Just think about it, Keiichi. You think people, with a lot of enemies here in Hinamizawa, could participate easily in a local festival? It would be especially hard for them to be around during the Watanagashi. So they probably left Hinamizawa intentionally around this time of year to travel, don't you think? Then, Tomatake, what about the priest who died after that? The one with the unknown illness. That also happened on the day of the festival. It's even easier to explain what happened to the Shinto priest. The Watanagashi is a really big event that happens once a year. It was probably from all the built-up stress. Or it may have been because of a pre-existing condition. But it was an unknown illness. It's hard to believe such a thing could I didn't mean to skip that. It's hard to believe such a thing could exist with all our advances in medicine. It's just an exaggeration. Rumors making rumors. Anyone would get worked up over having incidents happen 2 years in a row. The sudden deaths is quite unnatural, though. Of course, the police ordered an autopsy because of the strange way that he died. But there wasn't enough for them to open a full investigation, you know? Turns out it was just a sudden death due to illness. The priest's wife committed suicide, correct? What about that? I believe I already explained that. Everyone was shaken up by the incidents happening for a third year. Those who are of strong faith were quick to believe it was the work of the curse. Of course, that included the priest's wife. Apparently, they found a suicide note that said something like, "My death will quell Oyashiro's anger." Well then, how about the next incident with the housewife? That happened on the day of the Watanagashi too. The perpetrator has already been caught and the case has been closed. Turns out it was some nut job trying to continue the legacy of the Hinamizawa curse. Then how about the incident the next year? Oh yeah, this year is the next year. Tomataki gave a hearty laugh. Nothing will happen. Not this year. There was never a curse to begin with. It's just that a group of people believed it was the explanation for a string of coincidences. So there's either two possibilities here. They're going to come for me or they're going to come for him. My internal computer finally got itself back on track. I felt a bit embarrassed by how childish I'd become after losing control and panicking. I can see very clearly now that Keiichi really does love Hinamizawa. Even if Oyashiro's curse actually did exist, I can't imagine that Keiichi would become a target. I think he's feigning here, you know? I should probably just forget everything I heard tonight. I'll greet Rina and Mion tomorrow with the same smile as always. They'd probably also like tonight to end without incident so they can continue on tomorrow without having worried me. Perhaps seeing my change in attitude, the woman who had been listening in stretched as she got up from the rocks she was sitting on. Well then. I should be getting back. Hmm. You're quite the scoundrel, making the girls look for you. My man. See you, Keiichi. Have a nice night. You too, Jiro. I'll see you a bit later. Tomitake seems to be quite the scoundrel himself, so his name is Jiro. After dusting off her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up the shrine grounds. Keiichi? So sorry. In her place, Rina came running over. I could see all the others behind her. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. My bad, Kei. We got so caught up in our discussion. I'd completely forgotten about them, while caught up in my own conversation, so we were even. My, so Tomitake was with you. This works out perfectly. We still need to settle the shooting gallery competition. Ah, that's right. So I guess I'm gonna end up dead last. In the end, after my dramatic victory, Rika was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were all tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time and aim, but all 3 shots completely missed. She was to end up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitake. However, she did her little meeping cry in front of the owner, and he turned to mush instantly. She was given a pack of gum as a consolation prize. Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being the loser rather magnificently. Come to think of it, Rika is quite the trickster. I have no idea what Keiichi is talking about. Now then, it's decided that Tomitake is dead last. Everyone cheered and applauded. Tomitake smiled wryly, slightly bewildered. So, Tomitake, are you ready? Penalty time. Huh? Oh, I completely forgot about that. You're too naive, Tomitake. This is why you've got to avoid losing in our club. I'm gonna throw a flag. I think he's gonna die. Mion pulled a felt tip marker from her pocket. Oh, it's that. Show him some mercy, Mion. At least use a washable marker. A permanent one is too harsh. Aha, it just has to be permanent. Water-based marker would come off in the laundry. Whoa, what is this? Please take it easy on me. All of us pinned his arms behind his back, and Mion approached him with the marker in one hand, and squip, squip, squip. But she didn't write on Tomitake's face. She wrote on the shirt he was wearing. You'd better have your big break this year. Rina took up the marker next. Show me your photos next time, okay? It was a little heartwarming, and I just had to laugh. They didn't make a new shirt? Feels weird, man. This is more like a farewell card than a penalty. Ho ho ho, I'm not as soft as the rest. I'll make sure this is a proper penalty. Haha, dead last. Try harder next time. Here you go, Keiichi. I couldn't decide what to write, but based on what kind of penalty this was probably the most appropriate. Come back and play again. Tomitake was silent the entire time. At first he was quite bewildered, but now he had a different look on his face. So I have to wear this all the way back to Tokyo as part of the penalty? Of course, you'd better wear it all the way home. Aha, you could wear it when you come back. It would be nice. He appeared deeply moved. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn a bright red. Understood. I'll wear this the next time I come here. I promise. Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest parting gift possible for a buddy heading out tonight. I saw the woman who was with Tomitake standing near the festival grounds. It seemed Tomitake noticed her too, and knew it was time to leave. And the music just fucking cuts, dude. Seems like your guest is waiting. Isn't it about time? Yeah, that's certainly how it seems. Tomitake headed off towards her and seemed to apologize for making her wait. We all shouted stuff at Tomitake. Each time we did, he looked back and waved his hand. Eventually, he faded into the darkness of the night, out of sight. It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us have had to see someone off. They had done the same thing many times before. I think he's gonna die. He's gone. Well, it's about time we take off too. Rika had to stay behind with the other committee members, since they were having a meeting. Satoko was tagging along with her. I headed back home with the usual suspects. Monka ass, dude. Oh, dude, is this the guy's car? Like the swamp? Is this what they're talking about? This better not be, man. The walk back was quite lively, with talk of the day's war stories. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff. I guess not. Rena and I parted ways with Mion, and then it was just the two of us. Just the two of us. Then we got to my house, and I parted ways with Rena as well. It's already pretty late. Are you alright by yourself? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It's close. I'm gonna run too. If you run into some weirdo, just yell. If I do show, will you come and save me, maybe? Maybe. If I hear you. Okay, I'll scream loud enough so you can hear me. I mean, ideally you won't have to scream at all. Merrily spinning her arms around at high speed, Rena dashed off. She was fine. In that mode, not even an adult could stand against her. Rena's cheerful presence disappeared, and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not a soul mentioned, even under their breath. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became. Oh, dude, is his family gonna be fucking dead? It didn't show on any of their faces, but they were probably all quite concerned about it as well. But if nothing happens tonight, then it all ends up being crazy talk. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad at all. What's wrong, Keiichi? Why are you standing in a place like that? Come inside, you'll catch a cold. It was my mom. Did you go, Mom? To the Watanagashi? In the end, your father didn't wake up, so I missed it. A little disappointing. Monka ass. Mom stuck her tongue out with a bit of an embarrassed look on her face. Okay. I don't like when it pauses, man. Holy fuck. Oh, man. There's a lot in that chapter. Okay, we got some tips to read. No, I didn't want to do that, actually. Just want to see the new ones. So this is kind of going to be an info dump, I'm expecting. So I'm trying to remember. This was the first, this was the technically this was the second, this was the third, this was the fourth. Radio log, we'll leave that to last, because I think I have a funny feeling that's going to be the last one. Probably fucking Tomatake is fucking dead. Okay, so remember, the current year in the game is 83. This is 1980, so this was the second event from the June 1980 edition. On the afternoon of blank at 2 p.m., office employee blank and his wife blank of Hinamizawa village in Shishibone Prefecture disappeared after falling 27 meters from the observatory platform in Shirakawa Prefecture. Police and firefighters searched downstream and discovered the body of blank at around 7 p.m. that evening. His wife blank has yet to be found. The search has run into difficulties due to the effects of Typhoon 3 from the previous day. It appeared a railing at the observatory that blank leaned on had broken, causing them to fall. The groundskeeping staff was questioned by the police in regards to facility deterioration and if park maintenance was performed properly. Okay. So, either they fell or it was made to look like they fell at a railing. Okay. The June 1981 edition. On the afternoon of blank, at around 10 p.m. in the blank district of Hinamizawa village in Shishibone Prefecture, the Shinto priest of the Furude Shrine passed away after an existing condition he was recovering from suddenly worsened. Parties close to the deceased said he was suffering from anxiety issues concerning the festival, which was said to be held that day. Also, after Blank's death, his wife Blank went missing, leaving behind a farewell note. The police and local youth association continued the search. However, given the presence of the farewell message and the fact that the Onikakushi swamp is said to be bottomless, they have ran into difficulties. So the swamp got brought up again there. I don't know what the swamp would have anything to do with his death. He died of an illness, correct? You know? It wasn't reported in the newspaper. Oh! So the murder, wait a minute. If it wasn't reported in the newspaper, we caught a contradiction with Tomitake. Because he said that everything he knew was from stuff that he read in the newspaper. But if this wasn't printed in the newspaper, then how did he know about the murder? And how did he know about the motive? Okay, I gotta read this and I gotta go to the washroom and I'll come back. Radio log. This is Okinomiya Station, calling Unit 3. Unit 3, please respond. This is Unit 3, loud and clear. Backup is heading your way. Hold position until further instructions. Over. Roger. Unit 3 acknowledged. Requesting no headlights. Requesting radio silence. Station, the doctor has arrived. They want to carry it away. What's the order? Over. Acknowledged. Leave it to the doctor. Affirmative. Understood. Ah, backup has arrived. Shouldn't we let them take a photo first? I think the Vic is done for. So, of course, seems as though somebody died again. Okay, going to the washroom. We'll be back to continue this. Give me like 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Wow. I think I saved, so let's see who died. My girl! Good morning. Nice job yesterday, Kay. You didn't do so badly yourself, Mion. Yesterday was fun. Oh, that's right, Casey. Thank you very much. Or Mr. Bear. I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though. I wouldn't. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom, but the moment I stepped in the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water. And unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it. I hate this bitch. Mine now. How diligent of you to mop the floor this morning. Clomp, clomp, clomp. Whip, whip. Whiff. Wow. Keiichi flicked my forehead. You should set a more brutal trap next time. Seeing that, Rina began to swoon as Mion looked on in disbelief. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there, and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I'd had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished. What is it, Keiichi? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe. I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class. You shouldn't do that. Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled to their seats. Hey! Yo! My girl! Chie! Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all the people who stayed until the very end to help clean up. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus. Okay then, this time of year you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed a different tone in her voice and started paying attention. You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand? In unison, everyone replied, "Yes, ma'am." What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, don't spout stupid shit that you think is funny. And now, I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. My vision went black. I passed out. I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing. I don't know what. Peacefully. Sorry, I'm having a fucking stroke. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Today, let's play a classic game of de-education or deducation? I'm fucking so stupid.
I'm fucking stupid. It's deduction. Oh my fucking god.
How about this one? Oh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting. The instructions are in English. Wow, we're in luck, guys. But the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose you here. I'm not too bad at this game. Seems that Rina didn't handle this kind of game very well. I'm a fucking papeeg, and reading deduction is de-education. Oh my god. The rules are, the person who can match the murderer, weapon, and the scene of the crime wins. So this is clue. There were 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. I could see the names, Mion and Rika, were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons too, like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice too. Like the living room, the study, and the courtyard. So basically, you take out one of each of these cards. These are the answer cards, so we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators. Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends and we check if the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. Comrade Mion, redistribution you say? You'll learn as you go. You really have to use your brain. You'll get confused if you don't take notes. The rest you can figure out by playing. So Mion, what's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion. Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with a gopher penalty. To be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. So just being asked to go buy stuff, like drinks and candy, I guess? I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. I wonder, is it really? Is Keiichi thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, you don't know what you'll have to go buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. The cards were lightly shoveled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out, so that means all the cards I have in my hands are innocent cards. Then I'll go first, since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Mion, knife, study. You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene and ask the other players. If you have any of those cards, then you must say I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it. Me too. I have one. So, what you could deduce from this, good folks, is that all 3 of those cards are not in play. Oh my, all of them are here. 3 people answered when asked if they had Mion, knife, and study. That means Mion and knife and study are all in the clear. Got to jot that down. Then I'll go. Rina, axe, lounge. Only 2 people said they had one. See, now this is where it gets harder, because it could be any 2 of those 3. So it means out of Rina, axe, and lounge, one of them is correct and is part of the crime. No wait, even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. Look, see? He even caught on to something that I didn't notice. Well, Kay is next. Go ahead. Wait, just a little. I'm still sorting things out. This game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's gonna be tough. I imploded on the spot. Brains shot everywhere. Alright, now I have the criminal. What? Already? Here I am spinning around in circles and Mion just now raises her hand. The murderer is Rika. In the infirmary with the poison. Well, Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if her deduction was right. I was right. This is why we're in the cult of Mion, dude. All I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol. I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison. Well, I mean, you could also kill someone fast with poison, but... Rika said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Rina and I were left out in the cold, though. How did you do, Keiichi? I couldn't get it at all. Don't worry, I had no idea either. How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this rate. That's even worse. Going out buying something together as a couple? What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Manual? I can tell from Keiichi's expression that he's not very good at this game. What? That's not true. I'll show you the true powers of Sherlock Maybara during the next round. God, I hate her so much. After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still a step or 2 behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning info from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. Eureka. I mean, those are kind of one and the same. Sorry, I need to go to the bathroom. Take your time and squeeze out a nice one. Wow, great. Me? That's gross. I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school ground, some of our classmates were still playing around. My question is, what are all the fucking doors in this school used for if we already know that there's only one class? After spending some time cooling my head, Rina had made her way over towards me. Keiichi, did you call for me? Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Rina. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the fucking point. Rina, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth. Well, all losses. Why do you ask, I wonder? I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one, so I guess the both of us will be taking that penalty. Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us. But how can we? I brought my lips up to Rina's ear. Huh? Is that allowed? Did you forget, Rina? The second rule of our society. Do everything in your power to obtain victory. Yeah, I'll try my best. Our plan of attack was a quite rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much info as everyone else. Having this much info would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start out with a big lead over the other guys. And this is where you find out that they've already been doing that already, and you're actually behind the 8 ball. But it's okay, man. We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Rena was the corrupt senator. Or you could also say, the ruthless businesswoman. Pleasure doing business with you. Let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone. Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement. Oh, sorry, then what should we do? Go back ahead of me, Rena. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something. Okay, got it. Bunch of 9-head strategy here. Rena turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went back too soon, it would seem like I went to the bathroom. It wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later because both Rena and I would start winning over and over again. Both Rena and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realizes what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. Uh-oh. Maybara, may I have a moment? Teacher on student action? Hell yeah. Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things were just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit... You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance. A guest? It's not like I own a hotel. They have been waiting. Please hurry. Right before my big match was pretty bad timing to have a visitor, but the very fact that someone was here to see me was strange enough to pique my interest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entry was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Who the fuck are you? Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. This guy looks like a fucking fat Professor Oak. What happened? Are you Maybara? Keiichi Maybara? There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamizawa, and this was, without a doubt, the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitake, it seemed I was fated to meet middle-aged men. Nice one. That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? Kind of monk a W? The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car, parked near the gate, and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I have no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he was asking me to get in his car with him? I'm not gonna bite. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. So is this gonna be like, both your parents are fucking dead? Even while knowing the conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least. Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. So what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy. I bet you it's Tomitake. If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. Yup, there it is. So, big surprise, the death flag they fucking planted has come true. There were scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker, starting with yours, Maybara, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Huh? This is Tomitake? There was no hint of his usual, unreliable, and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Then do you know this woman? It was the girl that was with him. We don't know her name, though. It looked like the mother of the young girl, but clearly it's not. She probably would have said it. Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tomitake last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. When was the last time you saw these two? The night of the Watanagashi we spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no, certain that this guy was a cop. Fucking pig! Then why? Why was he asking something about Tomitake? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, Maebara? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oyashiro? My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Not at all. If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tomitake told me, actually. How much do you know about it? Dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death. The incidents that always happen the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitake would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather, I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Maebara, do you believe in the curse? Feel free to speak openly about it. Dude, my guy's such a monkey. He's so dumb. Why? Just lie. Say yes. Tomitake shit-talked the curse last night. Even if it's real or fake, he fucking died because of it. Why? Why would you not lie? Be a weaselly little liar. What the fuck, dude? Like... My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys.
Time to fucking die.
So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting. Could you get to the fucking point? The man in this picture is dead. I mean, I kind of predicted this previous chapter, so it's like... My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomitake? It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Maebara? Implications? Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi. Meaning, this year, the Kosa of Oyashiro had once again... The death of Jiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? I didn't want to understand why. So I'm guessing the reason why they're hiding it is because they don't want to stir up the belief that this is still going on. That's like the meme, I'm guessing. Please tell me. Tell me what happened. It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't, or at least that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. No, you didn't... Okay, so this was the radio call. one of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on the shoulder around there. There were few streetlights on that road. Its pitch black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and my fucking dog barking. I don't know if you can hear that. Doesn't look like it's showing up on my mic, but he is barking right now. And the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first. When the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. From a knife or something? No. Nails. You mean nails like... You mean nails like with a hammer? As in fingernails? I know that's the meme. You mean his neck was clawed through? From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was his own nails. So do you think that he was like choking or poisoned or something? And he was like, and he was like trying to, ow, stop with that fucking, stop with the high frequency tone, that hurts. From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was his own nails. Huh? What does that mean? Basically, it means it wasn't a murder. It was a suicide. Tomitake, whatever was going through his mind, tore open his own throat. As hard as he could with his own nails. Tore through the skin until he started to bleed, and even then he didn't stop. He continued clawing. Like a fucking werewolf or something. Teen Wolf? With enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails. Still clawing. Still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Spurt. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed. His body spasmed, and he died in agony. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. But this, it was a suicide? Stop with the high-frequency tone game, stop! I've never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying? If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died, in these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake, who proclaimed, this is what I said last night, you should have said it was real, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their throat. Wounds on his hands matched the discarded piece of lumber found nearby, so he was... Huh. There are traces of where he struck trees and the guardrails with it, so he was hitting... Tomitake's blood was found all over the place, meaning... Yeah. There were external injuries, which were not self-inflicted, discovered on Tomitake. There is a high probability that Tomitake was assaulted. My ears are being assaulted by that fucking high-frequency tone. The external injuries suggest there may be multiple suspects. To summarize, Tomitake was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it, and then he died. Yeah, so that's about all. So, what are you guys doing in school right now? Doing, like, arts and crafts, or... I didn't mean to do that, oops. The presumed time of death was between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitake at the festival. Everyone signed Tomitake's shirt, then parted ways right after that. Yeah, he really did make it big. But... oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her? Squad W. She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work, and she hasn't returned home either. There's a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while, I could only gaze off into space. Gaze within, you might say. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. I looked up to Tomitake like a father. The time I had spent with Tomitake was short, but when we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition, he wingmaned for me. We were bros. He was one of us. One of us. One of us. We've been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitake, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me, because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa. Well, yeah, you're like a fucking bona fide detective. I should have been angry that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened from me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomitake died from Oyashiro's curse. He turned away from me and gazed far off in the distance. The night of the Watanagashi, during that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos, angering Oyashiro. That's how it's going to turn out. There's no way Oyashiro would inflict divine punishment on Tomitake. Tomitake had to have been killed by humans, and a cowardly group no less. There's no way I was going to let this end up being the fault of some fucking curse! I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. Okay, so this guy's up next. Who else do we want to write down? Anybody else want to, The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh. That's how this must be, Meibara. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable, understand? Neither Tomitake nor I believed in curses. Can you imagine this guy fucking confiding in like a 15-year-old kid? He's like, yes, please, I gotta confide in you. But with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitake's death marking the 5th year. But you have to remember, it's important, remember this. The other death wasn't reported either, though, and it still happened. That's the only thing that's confusing to me. Right? The other death didn't get reported, they said, last year. And Tomitake knew about it. And if it didn't get reported, Tomitake dying obviously would kind of remove him from being part of the suspect list. But, you wouldn't think that these people would... You wouldn't think the curse would continue if it wasn't reported on, right? Like, people would think, like, oh, nothing happened, it's over. But if it keeps happening, even though it's not being reported on, it's a little bit... Excuse me, I just fucking burped. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomitake. That was something I couldn't allow. I mean, it already happened, bro. So, you're too late. You need to rewind time. Reset the timeline. Tomitake was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There's no way that Tomitake could have been cursed by Oyashiro. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. No. If you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that's enough. If I see or hear he was talking in the future tense, correct. Things, or people, or rumors, anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. Please, call me late at night. We'll FaceTime. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter. Please help me solve these questions surrounding Tomitake's unfortunate death. That's right. Why was I hesitating? I need to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face. Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential. Understood, sir. From your friends as well, especially from Sonozaki and Furude. please do not inform them. So Sonozaki is Mion. I forget who Furude is. Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? When my friend's name was brought up so abruptly, and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry as a man in the background started playing piano. Dun 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 dun. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me! Mion is a close friend of mine. She's actually the best girl in this game, but this game is railroading me into picking the other one. I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to be especially offended. I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you. Say it! Don't say it, I'll get fucking banned! He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. Dude, this is what I said! There is a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy. There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved, and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. But that's exactly what they want to make you think. And how did you come to that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Watanagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Dude, this guy is a logic brain. Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt the day of the Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa? First it was the damn construction foreman, then it was a villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die, one after the other for mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The village had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of the villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Excuse me. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about the housewife after that? Did she just die because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter of the cousin of the man who was the son of the third brother who was the perpetrator? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomitake? He's not affiliated with the dam project at all. Was he killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. What's scary about that? It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider could be reason enough. And guess who's an outsider? Then you're saying the next year's victim will be picked out of the village outsider pool? It might be a person
That just moved here.
What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then the next victims. My family. Was he saying it was going to be me? But what does that have to do with Mion? I'm really pissed off because I don't know if her name is supposed to be Mion or Mion. But I hope it's Mion because I've said it for about 8 hours of playing so far now. I can't go into the details, but the Sonozaki family led the damn protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonozaki herself. Hey, what's up? She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion had fought. I'm pronouncing it right? Let's go, baby! This was the first I'd heard of her family leading the protest, though. And well, what did it all mean? What do the numbers mean, Keiichi? Explain! Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with this string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it. Not a very clear explanation. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. Think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's the curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? Why are you relying on a 14-year-old kid to solve a murder mystery? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with a curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes, and none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me, so I wouldn't worry about it. So that was the assumed reasoning behind them not telling him. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they don't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly. Now, so this is the only question though, right? Let's think about this logically for a second. If they were worried about outsiders, how did Rena miss the cut? Because, again, unless we've been lied to so far, she only came here a year ago, which would mean that my character and Rena and our families would be the least integrated people of the village. Tomatake has apparently been coming for years, you know? A little bit of incongruence here, but it's okay. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine, Mr. Oishi? From the Okinomiya police station. Oishi? Uishi? We'll go Oishi. Oo doesn't sound right. Ooh? You can call me Kura if you want. No. Uishi is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer, though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much time. Oops. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. I teleported back to the classroom. The door opened with a click, and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of the day? Or had my body just gone cold? It was an almost cruel heat, as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. Motherfucker scared me for a second, yo. Don't phase into existence like that. Holy shit. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, Maebara. It would help to prove that the village is not involved after all. I'll contact you if I hear or see anything, but I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much. I won't. You're a fucking useless kid anyways. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up till now. Let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, Maebara. I returned to the school building without looking back. Oh great, now I get to go back and we get to play our little clue game. Pretend who the murderer was. I don't know how much time has passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. I'm gonna come back and be like, bro, I took a fucking huge shit. Tomatake's death was hard enough as it was, but to think that there was the possibility of a village conspiracy. Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Rina, Satoko, or Rika. It was a group that attacked Tomatake? Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here? Somewhere in Hinamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. I mean, not necessarily. I don't think she is. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. I'm playing one here because this...
Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Listen, man.
What the fuck is that, man? So, I don't think it's Mion. Now, I can't rule that out. But it doesn't feel right. Technically it could be her, and it could have been Rina. But I don't think it was Rina, just because the logic was, if I remember what the police officer said, that it happened like right after we left the festival. It could have been Mion because we left her. Like, she was the first one to leave, right? But I was with Rina up until my house, and then Rina left by herself. Technically, yes, both of them were gone, but I was with Rina. But there was a 2-hour time gap, so it technically could have been her. I shouldn't not suspect her. It could be, but I'm gonna take... Let's put it this way, okay? We're gonna use the Danganronpa approach, which is whoever the fuck they're trying to say is the person that did it is probably not the person that did it. We'll see. I could be wrong. But, like, the person I'm most suspicious of now is that blonde-haired girl. But even then, it feels like it'd be really silly for her to do it, but because, like, everyone saw her with him. And we knew they were together doing something. So if you gotta think about from the mind of someone who wouldn't want to be caught, that doesn't really make any sense at all. You were seen in public with this guy. You divulged details about the murders to me with him there. You were the only other person other than me that heard him say that the curse wasn't real. You two leave together. He winds up dead and you're missing? Like, come on. Huh? I was startled to hear Rina's voice. With the rope in the, lounge. Nope. No! No! Rina clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here, wow. I read that very odd, sorry. Ah, Keiichi, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger. Sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see. You were reprimanded for bad behavior? That's a shame. Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to finish in last? No, because Rina should be at -1 now. Don't worry, Keiichi. I'm at -1, yeah. The heck? Her score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing. This is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Rina alone or by both Kei and Rina. Yeah, right. Just let Rina do the penalty by herself. We made a promise, Keiichi, that we would both win. I waited all this time, How are you so fatigue? I closed my eyes. Sweet death embraced me. I followed my initial plan of showing Rina my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call. I got it. The murderer is me! With poison at the entrance. Is it? Is it? My, Rina. Quite a quick answer. Another stab in the dark? Oh. Rina's correct. Oh ho 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 ho! It is decided that Keiichi shall take part in the penalty as well. Oh shit, now we're gonna get some Monka W when we go with her. Hooray! Keiichi, let's both do our best. Yeah, let's do our best. It's my fault, so I have no choice. Then that's the game. It's me, Mion Sonozaki, ranked first. In dead last are Keiichi Maebara and Rina Ryugu. Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the gopher penalty. What will she make us buy, I wonder? Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it? Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper. Whoa, there's a lot written here. Did she literally just give us her grocery list? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar, and fried tofu. The heck is this? It looks more. It literally is, dude. God, dude. Me was certain she was gonna win today. Rule 7 of our society: you cannot refuse any penalty. Here, some money. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thanks. This is just your grocery list. I promised myself that if I won next time, I better go buy some hemorrhoid cream. God, I need it so desperately. My ass hurts. Now, are we gonna end here, or are we gonna get... Looks like it's gonna end here. Okay. Not a clue. Achievement get. There are more than 4 perpetrators. Well, initially in the first murder there was 6, so... Hypovolemic shock induced by clawing out their own throat. Hypovolemic. Meaning that's a loss of blood volume, I believe? Shock from a loss of blood by clawing out their own throat. Tissue is packed under the nails, not someone else's nails. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails. How many more times can we fit nails in one sentence? The shape of the scar also matches. Yeah, I know the immediate cause of death was suicide. I get it. You're saying the cause of death is unnatural, right? It's not quite on the same level as when your back itches and you scratch a little too hard and draw blood after all. Oh, I'm not sure I do that either, bro. Some of Tomatake's fingernails have been pulled out. Okay, so he really is dead. I thought... Whenever there's like a murder mystery game, I always wonder if they're going to do like the bait and switch meme where it's like, oh, they're not actually dead, but it seems like he is actually fucking dead. Fingernails actually rip off surprisingly easy, but it really hurts. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there were a lot of bruises on Tomatake's body. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone, or a group of people. This guy's happy. He's like, oh, these fingernails. I pulled them out. Time to eat them. According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before death. Then he fought back and clawed at his own throat because of how hysterical he had become. The guys attacking him certainly would have been surprised by that. It is possible that in such an abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases. Actually, Oishi, that wood plank the deceased used as a weapon, they only found sand and the paint from the guardrail on it. What about cloth fibers or skin? Nothing. The deceased didn't strike the assailants. Or it could be that they took the plank he was fighting back with. If that's the case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. Yeah, they'd just take it all. Duh. Har har, har har. That's true. Tomatake is pretty built and tanned. He's quite attractive. Athletic. That's right. He was pretty attractive. I mean active. Gotchi base. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on the higher side, meaning he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. If a man with such a physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around frantically, it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unharmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit them at least once. To surround and take down someone of his physique, I wonder how many people it would take. You dimwit, if anything that's your specialty. Have you forgotten your bad cop days? If I was to take down this guy, how many would I need? Well, I mean, it depends, bro. Do you know BJJ? Take one person. When a group wants to take down big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. I'd guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage. Then there were quite a few perpetrators. So any drunk and disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious. A group of 4 or more. Just, if they had that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Maybe they wanted it to be found. Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way in which he died. It's full of mysteries. That's under serious consideration on my end, too. I'll end up examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. After all, we've never encountered a death like this before. I'm not hoping for much, but I am looking forward to the results. Oishi, the chief is calling you. Thanks. See you around. Yeah, best wishes. Jiro Tomatake, deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomatake. Pen name! Fake name! Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of a forest path, present on the day of the festival. Accompanied by the missing Mio Takano, so that's her name. Was seen around 9 p.m. by police, location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hinamizawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. Yeah, that's not fucking suspicious at all. Freelance photographer. Oh, sorry, that was talking about him. I thought I was talking about her for a second. I was like, that's not fucking. Well, this is pretty sus. Among Us meme poggers. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased. Mere act of violence? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba, along the Sobu National Railway line. No individual matching the name Jiro Tomatake in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records, send to Metro Police. Attach a photo, send to Metro Police. Contact magazines regarding Jiro Tomatake. Mio Takano, missing. Nurse at Irie Clinic. Became close to Tomatake through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinomiya blank, district blank. Single. Ready to mingle. Witnessed accompanying Tomatake on the festival grounds. Currently missing. Abducted? Or maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. He had no motive to kill the deceased. Or had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy. Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship, place of work, etc. Need to get information from the police on scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Oh, fuck. Oishi. Okay. Do 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 do. Just trying to put together what's going on here. One sec real quick. I want to see how long it is till dinner. That'll determine whether we're continuing or not. Be right back. Yeah, so dinner's almost ready, so unfortunately that's our stopping point for the day. I'm guessing I'll set out a thing right now to tomorrow we complete this chapter at least, for sure. I don't know how much there is left. I can't imagine there's more than like 5 or 6 hours left. So we'll finish that next stream. And then we'll keep going with this like every day. Tomorrow, well, assuming we finish this, I'll probably stop after I finish it because I also have raid tomorrow. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, long streams. Sunday we'll see because I have a midterm on the first Monday back. But for the time being, that's all. Be back tomorrow, probably sometime around the same time, maybe a hair earlier. We'll see. So like in that range of like 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. EST, somewhere in there. That's all